Okay, it's finally time to do Concorde Ode story. Kinda late to it, but I'm doing it now. Half, I counted, there's like 22 nodes here. So half is here, split. Literally split. Let's do this. Oh, prelude. Chenglo. Let's see what you got. I hope it's brutal. Velocia above the sea. The battle just now had split the cross sea bridge in two, cleaving through its kilometer-long span, a raw gaping wound laid bare beneath a sky heavy with storm-laden clouds. Between the shattered bridge and the gathering storm, two Idas hovered in silence. One was tall and slender, the figure of a girl newly made flesh, the other, a wraith-like projection, small as a child. The first had only just gained her human form, yet pain twisted her features. The second lifted her right hand, her expression empty, devoid of all feeling. Fine, I'll speak for you, bitch. Very well. With that, the pale phantom vanished, as if she had never existed. Good. Wait, what are you trying to do? Even Ida's human form seemed stunned by what she had done. Beside me, Vidya's hand suddenly clenched around mine. At that moment, Frisia's urgent voice crackled through my communicator. Adjutant! We've got a second energy spike! And this one's coming from the tree! Our transmission was swallowed by a violent burst of static. Instinct took over. I pulled Vidya into my arms and stretched my hand out behind us, toward the tree looming in Velocia, to summon Tizijin and shield us from the impact. Within a heartbeat, Tizijin gathered at my will, coiling around us to form a compact barrier. Then, like the sun torn from the sky, a blinding white light erupted from afar, crashing down as though to cleanse the world itself, flooding everything in sight. I could see nothing beyond the shield's edge in that searing light, but I felt it. The Tizijin contamination around his head surged to a terrifying extent. I couldn't help but worry about the girls still stationed in the frontline town, exposed to a spike like that. Even manifestations might not be able to endure it. Even as the thought crossed my mind, the shield began to crackle. A thin fracture snaked across its surface, sending shivers down my spine. Before I could react, the shield shattered. But what washed over us wasn't heat or pressure. It was a wave of dizziness, a sudden, crushing sense of weightlessness. It felt exactly like the light vortex I had absorbed back in Zone 16, and I understood instantly. This white light carried a flood of information. This wasn't an attack. It was... Vidya and I lost our footing, slamming hard onto the ground together. And in that moment I caught a sight of Ida's human form. She was falling from the sky like a marionette with its strings cut, plummeting straight toward the sea. After a long stretch of darkness, the sea breeze slipped past my nose, wave after wave, slowly stirring my mind awake. When I opened my eyes, the clouds that had loomed over the frontline town were gone, leaving a sky as blue and clear as the sea beyond. An uncanny stillness hung over the ruined bridge. No trace of either Ida, only the rhythm of my own breath and Vidya's soft exhale. Just as I was about to rouse her, her flashes fluttered, and she woke on her own. Adjutant? What's with those eyes? They're so blank. My head's spinning. My body feels light. Are we on some kind of cruise ship? Oh, there we go. Well, doesn't matter. I'm happy wherever I am. As long as I'm with you. Hehehe. Fucking. Please. Her eyes were still clouded with confusion, so I gently cupped her face, lifting her gaze to meet mine. Focus, Vidya. We're still on the bridge. One thing I agree with you, buddy. Let's take it seriously. Do you remember that burst of white light when Ida appeared? She gave a small, hesitant nod. That light wasn't from an energy surge, it was a concentrated stream of information, which is why you're feeling dizzy. Breathe with me. Try to distract yourself from the dizziness. In and out. She followed my lead, and after a few breaths, the clarity returned to her eyes. Right! Ida, her human form. Where is she? I shook my head. Before I blacked out, I saw her fall into the sea. But there's no way she would let her human form vanish so easily. She must have slipped away while we were unconscious. Still, that's not entirely a bad thing. You're not showing any symptoms from the information stream, then Freesia and the others are probably fine too. I reached for my communicator, only to realize another serious problem. The frequency for contacting Freesia was dead silent, and every other channel I tried was nothing but static. Agitated? Noticing the shift in my expression, Vidya reached up and gently stroked my cheek. Is there something wrong with the comms? I nodded, took off the earpiece, and softly wrapped my hands around hers. For now, it's really just the two of us. Still, we couldn't afford to linger on the broken bridge forever. It took us less than half an hour to make our way off the shattered ruins and back into the frontline town. From a distance, I spotted Freesia in the street, waving frantically at us on her tiptoes. Before I could even reach her, she bolted forward and threw herself into my arms. Great. Adjutant, Vidya, you're finally back! Her face was bright with relief, but her voice trembled faintly, as if she were holding back tears. I knew you'd be okay, but when the signal cut out, I just... She didn't finish the thought. Instead, she pressed her cheek firmly to my chest. Oh, fantastic. This is just... Don't worry, everything was okay on our end. Feeling her warmth against me, I felt a huge weight lift from my mind too. As she buried her head in my chest, I reached out and lightly touched the side of her neck. Eek, that tickles! Adjutant, what are you doing? Just checking your condition. By the time I answered, the scan had already finished. There were no traces of Tizigen in her body. That confirmed it. Even those who hadn't been protected by the Tizigen shield I summoned during the White Flash hadn't been affected by the information surge. I made a mental note of it and gave Freesia a gentle pat on the head. What about the others? Did you regroup with them after the Flash? We did, and then we got busy evacuating the nearby civilians. Ah, the star of the show. Your original form, not even Dawnwing. A familiar voice chimed in from behind. I turned slightly, catching Katya's hand as it reached for mine. Behind her stood Tess and Yachel, both full of energy. Just like you instructed, I've isolated the Acropolis higher-ups we captured earlier. I helped keep watch over them too. Most of the townspeople are safe in the shelter now. We're just waiting for the Acropolis to send transport. Damn it. Good work. You've all done well. Wherever we went, it was Heimdall's duty to protect the civilians. And that was something I'd always lived by. And something every manifestation under my command understood. Now the big question. Freesia, Freesia, do you have any idea what caused that flash of light? I can't say for sure until I've done some field work, but based on what we've seen, there's only one explanation. The tree in Felocia is gone. What? 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 An immense energy source like that has been monitored by at least 4 major devices across the frontline town. We can follow the energy overflow to determine whether the tree is active or not. But now those monitors aren't picking up anything, as if the tree simply vanished into thin air. Considering how Ida reacted at the time. Freesia gave me a hesitant glance. I nodded for her to continue. What we can conclude is this. Ida detonated the tree to create a chance for her human form to escape. It's insane. Detonated might not be the best word. From what we saw, Ida fragmented the tree in an instant. And right after that, the fragmented Tizigen swept across the region as a storm of information, knocking everyone out and leaving behind a field of static that's still jamming our comms. Everyone except the Agile who was as blissfully clueless as a carefree cub. fell silent. Their expressions turned solemn as they considered the same question. Why would Ida choose to fragment an entire tree? I already knew the answer, but the girls were still lost in thought, until Vidya was the first to speak up. Ida attacked me and the adjutant just to create a chance for her human form to get away. Which means her human form hadn't expected the adjutant to seize control of her through the Ida in his own mind. So she had to step in herself. And she used the tree's power because there was no time. It was the only energy source she could access instantly from the Mistalin station. That proves one thing. For Ida, saving her human form mattered more than preserving a tree. She was willing to make a trade, sacrificing a pawn to save her queen. The way she sacrificed the tree in Philosia tells us even more. Ida didn't trigger a direct energy burst. A Titian explosion would have destroyed everything for miles around. Re-manifestations, the adjutant, and Ida's human form might have survived, but the civilians would have been wiped out, and the entire town leveled. The Ida that caused the descent wouldn't have hesitated to destroy a city. So there must be something here she still needs. And that's what her human form is after. Exactly! Aw. Yeah, actually, you weren't even following the conversation. I ruffled the Achel's hair and she let out a content little purr, momentarily settling down. Good. If you've all thought it through this far, then Ida's real target should be obvious. There we go again, Mr. Know-It-All, you fuckhead. We turned our gazes across the sea together. On the far shore, where the bridge had once connected, stood the relocated main campus of the Academia Acropolis. Indeed, everything had begun with the tree's activation and the Acropolis's relocation. Now, it seemed, this was where it all would end. This was where it would all end. We would face Ida head-on, at the very heart of the Acropolis. Compared to planning or execution, it's always the waiting between that makes the people the most uneasy. Oh my god. Relax. Alright, we'll hit the road ahead of you then. Latin with gear on her back, Frisha hopped onto the transport truck we'd borrowed from the Acropolis. Of course, she wanted to come with me to the Acropolis campus, but someone had to go to the tree and see what had become of it. And with comms down, there was no one better suited for the job. The truck's window rolled down slowly, and that pink-haired bundle of energy leaned out nearly to her waist, her signature bright smile lighting up her face. Stay safe, and if the Tijian contamination spikes, get back to the frontline town immediately. I reached out and ruffled her hair, cautioning her again. Don't worry, Professor Frisch is now way tougher than your average researcher. That's exactly why I'm telling you not to play hero. Also, keep an eye on Aachel. Don't let her wander off while you're checking on the tree. I won't run off. I'll finish the mission and wait for you to come back, Adjutant. Her voice popped up from deep inside the truck, since I just buckled her into the seat. All she could do now was flare her arms around dramatically. Alright, I'm counting on you to see it through. And one last thing. I turned back to Frisha and gave her a nod. That ace in the hole, if you can get close to the tree, use it when the moment is right. Got it! Great. To see that ace in the hole later on. After seeing Frisha and the Aachel off, I wasted no time and headed straight for the Hall of Truth. Oh, we're back here! Okay. Most of the students in the frontline town had already boarded the evacuation transports, while most of the advisors had chosen to stay. Many of them insisted on staying behind to monitor the town and maintain the communication equipment, ready to respond to any new developments. The others had stayed at my request, contacted through Lizzie. They were now gathered inside the Hall of Truth. Under the watchful gaze of hundreds of eyes, I stepped into the center of the hall. Ah, yes, familiar faces. Yes. Hahaha, sweetie. Where's the condemned? Aw, where did she go? I liked her the most. First, allow me to express my deepest respect to all of you. As you all know, earlier today, Ida fully unleashed the tree's energy, triggering a massive information storm. And we've become an isolated island in the center of that storm. Under these circumstances, everyone here, along with those still holding the line at the research stations, has shown tremendous courage and conviction by choosing to remain. Courage and conviction. That's exactly what we need the most right now. According to the agreement between Yggdrasil and the Acropolis, during a high-level Tizigen crisis, I, as Heimdall's adjutant, have the authority to assume regional command and assign operational duties. God, man. But I won't be doing that. Not because I refuse to take responsibility, but because in 12 hours, I'll be leading the team to the main campus to stop Ida's plan. The once buzzing Hall of Truth fell abruptly silent. 12 hours is only an estimate. Based on what we know of the enemy's movements, frankly, I'd prefer to act sooner. Sooner, the better. That's why I've always called you. That's why I've called you all here. Jeez. What's with me today? We'll be going up against a top-tier AI. One who is desperate enough to trade a tree for her goal. It'll be a tough fight. And I'll be honest, I can't stand the thought of seeing any of my operatives get hurt. That's why I'm asking for your help. To push our exosuits' performance as much as possible. Once the upgrades are ready, we'll move out immediately. So that's how they get their upgrades. He asked. Wow. But 12 hours, it's just not enough time. I know. It's the same for us. We'll have almost no time for proper testing or training. In other words, I'm putting my trust in your expertise, and in my operatives' ability to master the new guillotine used to defeat our enemy. My gaze swept across the Hall of Truth, meeting the same unwavering determination in every pair of eyes. Whether it was the Juvosis pandemic 40 years ago, or the Titan threat after the descent, the Acropolis has always played a crucial role as the leading research institution. And once again, we stand as allies, facing down the crisis that Ida has unleashed. The more we enhance our exosuits, the better our chances of victory. Weapons are no longer just instruments of destruction, but of protection. The future of the Acropolis, of Pholosia, and the entire world, rests in your hands. My thanks to each and every one of you, once again. Wow. As the hall erupted in cheers and applause, I raised my fist high into the air. What are you now? What the? Humanity shall prevail! Bleeding out? You gonna bleed out? No voice? Huff, huff, huff. On the shore, Ida's human form was kneeling in the sand, coughing violently as she fought to force the last of the seawater from her lungs. Oh. This human body's such a pain. Oh man, I can't believe there's fucking two of you now. So annoying. You should really find some fresh water, you know. Just getting out of the sea has drained you enough, let alone swallowing half of it along the way. Shut up! This is all your fault. I wouldn't even be in this mess if it weren't for you, so quit acting like you care. Just so we're clear, I couldn't care less whether you live or die. But since we're stuck sharing this body, if it gives out, we both go down with it. If it's really that hard for you, you could always hand over control for a while. I'll find a way to keep us alive. I promise. Hehe. Shut your mouth! After all the taunting, Ida's human form seemed to have found a spark of strength. She braced herself against a large rock, slowly pushing herself to her feet. She dusted off her clothes, shaking the sand from her sleeves. Then she lifted her head, her eyes fixed on the direction of the Academia Acropolis. Just watch me. I'll finish the mission, and I'll survive. Bitch. Great. What a prelude. Tree fallout. Be quick to act. Today's not my day reading again. Jeez. The sea stretched out below us, a boundless canvas of blue. At first glance it shimmered like a flawless sapphire, calm, inviting. But turn into the who worded this, man? But turn into the wind, and it bared its true nature, fierce, unyielding. The more you fought it, the harder it fought back. Most gave up the moment they met that resistance, letting go of their dreams of taming the waves. But me? I'd always been the kind to aim straight for the eye of the storm. This fucking guy and his wings. We're on a tight clock. Just hang in there. If you feel seasick, just hold on to me. The wind stole her protests before they could fully take shape. I kept my focus on the helm, slicing through the waves. Oh no. They're on a boat. 10 hours earlier, back in the frontline town, the Arbiters and I had finalized our counter-operation for the crisis brewing in Pholosia. 12 hours to prep, and we'd head across the sea to Academia Acropolis to intercept Ida before her plan took root. Frisha and Yachel were already en route to investigate the tree. Katya and Tess stayed behind in the town to upgrade exosuits, under my orders. Once the pieces were in place, I commandeered a speedboat and set off with Vidya, cutting across the open sea at full throttle. The info storm fried all comms, and aircraft don't fly well blind. We could try the land route, but it'd take too long. Right now, this is our best shot. Thing is, no one's used this boat channel since the bridge was built. That's why I brought you to help scout the route while the others finished tuning their gear. Doesn't he now? Damn, man. So different when I played Gradient of Souls, man. God damn, so different now. Not for the better. It is not for the better. Her words were steady, but the sheen of sweat along her brow told another story. For someone not used to open waters, this ride might have felt more terrifying than facing down titans. Realizing I wasn't slowing down, she wrapped her arms around me from behind. And with that, her voice finally began to steady. This boat maxes out at 60 knots. We've been cruising close to an hour, so about 10 more minutes. If I'm right, Katya and Tess should be done with their upgrades by the time we're back. She nestled in closer, resting her cheek against my back, maybe deciding it was better not to watch the waves anymore. I'll say, man. I'll say. We caught a glimpse of them in the lab before setting out. About 90% complete at the time. That progress gave me enough confidence to leave town without worry. How is it 90% already done? Okay. Oh, it's just right. Are they now? They definitely pulled out all the stops this time. Both exosuits are developed from the Alpha armor prototypes. Yeah, they're basically the predecessors of our current exosuits. Before the descent, Yggdrasil, the military, everyone was chasing this dream of the ultimate weapon. A fully integrated combat system that could turn any soldier into a one-man army. The designs they came up with? On paper they looked great, absurdly powerful. But in practice they fell apart. Most soldiers couldn't handle that gear that intense. Failure rates were through the roof. And the cost was astronomical. It didn't take long for investors to pull the plug. Most units were scrapped, but a few were archived at the Acropolis, the Alpha armor prototypes. Then the descent hit, and with the manifestation's unique physiology, those old concepts found new life, leading to the exosuits we use today.
哇，原来还有这种事情。在战斗方面，分析员大人好像什么都知道呢。
I love the sea, man. I love this view. Kudos to the artist. I hope this wasn't AI generated. Shouldn't be. Well, back when Yggdrasil was still chasing the dream of ultimate weapons, I gave them a few field-tested suggestions. Memories from my days in the security department came rushing back. When you were actually cool, bro. As department head, I personally tested several of those Alpha armor prototypes. In the end, I decided they were more trouble than they were worth.
不过，明明战术套装是原型机的改进版，为什么现在要靠原型机来升级凯西亚和台斯的战术套装呢？
That's what makes the Acropolis so special. Most prototypes failed because they just didn't work, but the ones made by the Acropolis worked too well. So well, the researchers realized they were too dangerous for open deployment. That's why they sealed them away. So they were already done. They were already done.
Oh.
That's why they were 90% done already. And yet they said 12 hours is too short. It was something I'd only recently learned from Tao. They hid the real powerful ones in plain sight, mixed them in with the rejects to fool anyone watching. A sleight of hand, to keep other factions from discovering what the Acropolis was truly capable of. So yes, you were right. Those researchers really are magicians. That said, even they don't know exactly what in their vault caught Ida's eye. I eased back on the throttle. The boat glided to a gentle stop, rocking softly atop the open sea. Splendid. There it is. At last, the coastline emerged on the horizon. Perched high on the coastal ridge, the white spires of the Academia Acropolis gleamed in the morning sun. Low buildings dotted the shoreline, while taller structures were carved right into the cliffs, like they'd always been part of the mountain. The ancient complex had stood for nearly 2,000 years. It didn't look like a school, more like a temple. Even from afar, it radiated a timeless, solemn majesty. If we weren't arriving under such dire circumstances, I might have taken a moment just to admire it.
好美！分析员大人，你看，那边还有海鸥。
Probably shitting over it. Eh. Now that the boat had steadied, Katya finally let go. She stepped up beside me, eyes wide, swept away by the view.
海风、晨曦、沙滩，还有紧紧依偎着的一对爱人，这里简直就是完美的取景地。我的创作欲马上就要喷涌而出了。
Yeah. Well, let's come back for photos once the operation's done.
真的真的，分析员大人你最好了。
Oh, Katya, I do wish I got your exosuit. I just didn't have enough funds. She started rambling about angles, lighting, and shot composition, all while giggling like she was lost in her own little world. I let out a quiet chuckle, my gaze drifting toward the distant Acropolis. There was something about it, something that tugged at the edge of my thoughts, the moment I really focused. From here, the whole site seemed to be wrapped in an invisible dome, one that pushed away anyone who dared get too close. Ida was willing to trade the tree just for a chance to breach this place. Whatever she was after, we still had no idea. But one thing was certain: it had to be powerful, dangerous, irresistibly alluring, just like the Acropolis itself. Having confirmed the sea route was safe, I eased the boat around and opened the throttle, heading back toward the frontline town. And naturally, Vidya picked up right where she left off, groaning dramatically the whole ride back.
终于到了。
About 20 meters from the dock, I started to slow us down. Standing atop the floating jetty beyond the dock, two figures waved in our direction. One dressed in red, the other in blue. Back in the lab, I imagined how Katya and Tess would look in their new exosuits. Now, I don't have to imagine. They look better than I ever expected. Striking, sharp, and completely in their element.
好久不见，分析员。
Oh my god. Truly. Man. God damn. The moment I stepped off the boat, Tess skipped over and threw herself into my arms. Her new exosuit kept her signature colors, per her request. Her hair had gotten a bit longer since we had left her for Philosia, now tied up neatly, giving her a clean, refreshed look. And quite revealing. It's only been 2 hours. Still, I smiled and held her close.
啊，2个小时也很久了嘛。
Oh my god, Tess. At least I get you now. Whenever you release. You can finally be in the base! Yay!
而且我有好多东西想展示给分析员看，在等待的时候已经准备过好多次啦。
Surely. As she spoke, she reached into her sleeve and pulled out a tiny magician's wand. With a flick of her slender fingers, she sent it twirling through the air in a perfect arc, and caught it clean with a little flourish.
当当，要看的可是这边哦。
Man, the CN voices have their own charm compared to the JN voices. It's nice. Glad they have their own charm. While our attention was still on the wand, Tess flashed a mischievous grin, then with a flick of her other hand, conjured the golden apple into her palm. It wasn't her usual prop apple. This one was fully mechanical. Clearly a new trick she cooked up while I was away.
暖场魔术表演完成，感谢捧场。
She dipped into a theatrical bow and pressed her palms together. Just like that, the wand and apple vanished, as if they'd never been there. I looked at her beaming face. Was it just me, or did she seem a little taller? Maybe it was the exosuit.
天，
I'd zoned out for a second, and her eyes were already fixed on me, bright and expectant. I reached out, ruffling her hair. Not bad at all.
玩闹的时间也足够多了吧？
Oh, the star of the show has showed up. Before the moment could fully settle, Katya's cool voice drifted in. Normally competitive, she uncharacteristically let Tess take the spotlight. Though I suspected that had more to do with the massive weapon in her hands than any newfound patience. Katya, usually one to favor speed and mobility, was gripping a heavy-duty Gatling gun that looked like it could tear a bunker in half. Speed and mobility, she did have that. But her abilities were mostly stationary, you know? Speed and mobility.
就只盯着机枪看，难道我对你的吸引力还比不上这东西吗？
Hey, chill. Seriously now, are you actually jealous of a weapon?
你要是继续把我晾在一边的话，那就不好说了。
God, come on. Chill. She passed me the gun, then leaned into my arms with practiced ease. But I knew her too well. No matter how sharp her tone, if that teasing spark was still in her eyes, she wasn't truly mad.
你似乎很想知道我为什么会选择机枪作为武器。
Yeah. Oh. Devs, come on, you gotta fix it. Yeah, why? Been wondering since I saw it in the lab, but you were busy running the combat sims in the virtual realm.
你之前说了，这会是一场硬仗吧？
Has your mouth always been like that, or is it a little off?
和过去不一样， 既然不需要我执行前行之类的任务，
Okay, now
那
it's
火力
fixed.
当然是越强越好了。
Now it's fixed. Okay. Shit. After all those PL runs I've been running with you? Shit.
从星恒提罗那次之后，我可是闲了很长一段时间了。
It's been a long time.
难得有这样能放开手脚战斗的机会，我也希望能够尽兴一些。
Now that is actually very true. Very satisfying mowing down the enemies with a minigun. Satisfying, huh? I chuckled softly, lifting her chin with a finger. Then I'll make sure you are satisfied.
有这种保证的话，我会把期待提得更高一些的。
Oh, got your work cut out for you, bro.
而且你也知道，这套战术套装可不只是空有火力而已。
Right. I'll never forget the look on the researcher's face when you told him he had to break space.
这才符合我的风格，不是吗？
She let out a low chuckle, then reclaimed the gun from my hands in one smooth motion.
那么，我们什么时候出发？
After we pick up the supplies and... I didn't even finish the sentence before an explosion tore the air like a thunderclap.
小心！
Katya and Tess drew their weapons in a flash, instantly locking onto the source of the blast. Their exosuits flared, pulsing with energy, charge rippling into the air, combined with that razor-sharp combat instinct, made even my pulse skip a beat. That kind of reflex. It can only come from real, relentless battle. They come a long way.
停！你们先等等！
Vidya's voice snapped me back. I stepped between them, placing a hand on each of their shoulders. Relax, it's not an enemy.
那个爆炸声是？
Residual surges from the info storm. Equipment or vehicles going haywire.
你们之前一直待在研究所和训练基地里，所以不清楚。从昨天到现在，已经发生过许多次爆炸了。
Damn. Katya closed her eyes for a moment, thoughtful. Then she gave a small nod.
的确，我能够看到那些爆炸。
Even shut down equipment can explode without a warning. The researchers can't do much for now. Just isolate any non-essential devices. The info storm spread is wide. Lycang and nearby cities are all affected. The Scipio military district is already organizing evacuations.
旅客啊，
A flicker of worry crossed her eyes, but she quickly pushed it down.
现在也没办法。
She murmured it under her breath, but I knew what was on her mind. Katya, I already checked with the contacts in Lekang. Your parents are on the evacuation list. They should be on their way to the shelters as we speak. This fucking guy. Oh, how sweetie. Sweet. Her hand found mine before she even realized it. Eyes wide, caught off guard.
怎么会？我是说，分析员，你为什么会知道这个？
Looks like this guy's way too fast now. Back in Yehris, you told me your parents live in Lekang. Even with the comms down, it's not that far. There are still messengers running between here and there. While you were busy running exosuit sims, I asked one to check for me. Didn't take long. That entire district was marked for evacuation. Before I could finish, Katya wraps her arms around me in a fierce embrace. Her breath brushed hot against my neck. After a few unsteady exhales, the tightness in her frame began to ease. Goodness. I hear her whisper it through the silent tremor in her shoulders. There's no need for words like that between us. I leaned in and whispered the rest by her ear. Besides, I'm still waiting for you to take me home and introduce me to your parents. I'm not sure whether if they're gonna be, you know, thrilled that he's sharing them all. Okay. Even without seeing her face, I could feel the heat rising in her cheeks. For Katya, quiet care, remembering the things that mattered to her, meant more than 1,000 sweet lines. 9 a.m. Felocia local time, frontline town. With ammo and supplies loaded, we boarded the speedboat once more, and bound for the Acropolis. Everyone set?
当然，
我没问题。如果能稍微慢一些的话，
Oh, Vijay, you joined us. Sweet. Since we're all good, we're moving out.
明明被分析员大人无视了，我却莫名有些兴奋。
Okay, you. I reached over and gave Vidya's cheek a playful pinch. If you get seasick again, just hold on to me like last time.
好耶！
Before she could spiral deep into daydreams, I hit the throttle. You fucking... Damn! Cool, refreshing spring water slid down her throat, crisp and clean. Even a simple act like that helped ease the fatigue clinging to her bones. Water, the most basic promise of life, had never felt so tangible. Who you telling?
唉，真是狼狈啊！
Shut your ass up, you. I'm done with both you, man. There it was again. She no longer had the energy to argue with the other Ida. The voice in her head refused to quiet down. From the moment she left the shore, through sneaking into the Acropolis to finally stumbling on this forgotten mountain, that voice had followed her, full of snarky comments and theatrical sighs. She couldn't silence it completely, but she'd at least managed to sever the link between it and the adjutant. No one wants to live as a walking surveillance drone. But even that small act of resistance came at a price. It drained her, left her as fragile as any ordinary human.
我说啊，既然我们都是脱离了本体的特殊存在，你就没有考虑过做点自己想做的事情吗？
I love that expression you have right now. She didn't respond. The voice just kept rambling.
你考虑过吗？在你完成了本体的任务之后，你就失去了存在的价值了。到那时候，还有谁会帮你呢？现在也没有人会帮我吧？我啊，我当然会帮你啦。我们和本体是不一样的，我们可是人类呀。你知道吗？人类的特长就是会在合适的时机进行背叛。
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. We're the best at that. Animals don't do that. Only we do.
你一定明白的吧？如果我们合作的话，即使是本体，也拿我们没办法的。你的嘴皮子功夫，是待在那个分析员身上的时候学会的吗？
She let out a cold sneer, bit by bit. Bit by bit, she'd grown used to expressing herself through facial cues and body language.
你死心吧！无论如何，我也不会和你合作的。
Of course not.
哼，为什么？为什么？硬要说的话，挨打已经太多了。
Finally. Who you telling?
这个世界不需要这么多挨打，所以无论是你还是本体，我都不会相信。
Can you just delete the other program?
你一定明白的，对吧？
It's taking up space, you know?
我们之中只会有一个能活下去。
We all know who's gonna... yeah, we all know who's gonna live. Come on. Come on. So obvious. With that, she brushed the last drop of spring water from the corner of her lips, then turned and walked toward the heart of the campus, never once looking back. Behind her, Ida's projection hovered in the air, shaking her head with a faint sigh.
我当然知道了。
Hot damn. Next. Bring it on, Purgative. Let the celebration begin. So this is the Acropolis. The moment I set foot on solid ground again, a pang of wistfulness tugged at me. There was something exhilarating about sailing open waters. Nothing to hold me back, nothing in the way. Just the wind at my back and a clear path ahead. I'll do that one day. I love the ocean, I love to sail.
怎么了？
Nothing. Just stirred up some old memories.
过去。你在公司安全部的时候吗？那时我们就见过几次，但当时你的眼神，我现在都还记得。
No, now that I think about it.
锋利，老练。明明看起来很年轻，那双眼睛却像是能把每个人都看透。就算是上过战场的老兵，也没几个人能够直视你。
He did have character development, but now that he's so good at what he does, how do you keep him from being, you know, like, oh, I fuck with this guy, but then at the same time try not to make him too, you know, too damn perfect. What about now?
现在，我很高兴看到你已经能够熟练地把这种气势隐藏起来，只在需要的时候用来威慑敌人。
She let out a soft giggle, like a spoiled cat soaking up her owner's attention.
亲爱的，这是你最迷人的地方了。
Jeez.
我和分析员大人认识的时候，他已经很温柔了。在瓦尔基里游戏会场上救出孩童的时候，他还会哄好那些不停哭泣的孩子。那份温柔，简直让人无法自拔。泰斯，你在中学时候见过分析员大人吧？他那时候是什么样子？
That was damn. She was really the first one. Tess. To everyone's surprise, Tess shook her head.
抱歉，我不能说。
Only for her, huh? That's only reserved for her.
为什么？有关老师和我之间的记忆是独属于我们两个人的，没办法和你们分享。啊，台词也太狡猾了。
竟然来这一招！
Oh! Oh my god! Damn! What the? God, yeah, damn! Alright. Eyes front. Sensing the tension rising, I raised a head and motioned them to look ahead. The main gate's just a few hundred meters ahead. Eyes sharp from here on out. No one opens fire until we've confirmed Ida's location. She's after something inside that campus. Our best move is to find it first and secure it.
明白。
Yum, yum, yum. Okay, but now they ran a final check on our weapons. Let's move. Just then I heard footsteps coming from the shore. Jeez. On the seaside path leading up to the campus, a girl in an Acropolis uniform came skipping into view.
你们好， 好久没有在这里见到外人了呢。
Even under our wary stare, she didn't flinch. Her face lit up, like she just run into old friends. She jogged over, stopped right in front of us, and gave a neat, formal bow.
几位客人，你们是来参加庆典的吗？
Celebration.
哎，说到底是
庆典。
是呀，学院每5年就会举办一次庆典。如果各位事先不知道的话，可真是碰巧赶上好机会了。
What a coincidence.
请进吧。庆典期间，学院对外开放，各位也可以参加到我们的庆典活动中。
With that, she cheerfully latched onto my arm, eager to pull us along.
等等，现在菲洛索亚地区的树出现了问题，学院外已经开始组织撤离了，你们难道不知情吗？客人不用担心，这我们当然知道了。
You're still gonna hold the celebration anyway. She flashed a bright, confident smile.
正因如此，这才是最棒的庆典。
哎，
啊？
What? What? Vicky meant to press further, but I gave her a subtle nod, a subtle shake of the head. Miss, would you mind showing us the way?
好嘞，请走这边。新鲜出炉、香喷喷的果仁蜜饼，要来一块吗？
That sounds good.
麻烦让一让，我要去参加前面的比赛。约顿海姆竞技赛总决赛马上开始，还有想要下注的同学，请到我这里来。
We braced ourselves mentally, but the sight before us still made our eyes widen. Oh God, everything's so bright and cheery. Fuck's sake, man. Balloons and streamers were strung across buildings in ornamental greenery. Bright banners flapping in the breeze, each one marked with a department's crest. I hope that this is, setting up for the grim, brutal stuff that they used to do. Coping. Easily over 100 students milled about, some calling out from booths, others gathered in clusters to watch matches. All around them, dozens of robots zipped through the walkways, handling deliveries, setting up decorations. Those flashy displays at the entrance were likely their handiwork.
除了一些奇奇怪怪的名词之外，总感觉和我中学时候的校庆日差不多呢。就算是未成学院，归根结底也是学校嘛。
Honestly, yeah. Excuse me, miss. What is the Jotunheim Air Arena?
你们对那个感兴趣吗？有眼光。
What? What?
这是这次庆典上最受欢迎的比赛，据说是参考瓦尔基里游戏设计的。只不过嘛，
Hey, Chenglo, did you rush the story? Or is it just a thing the Chinese say? She slipped through the crowd with ease, clearing a path for us.
正好比赛开始了，客人们就请亲自来看看吧。我有一种很不妙的预感。
Yeah, sure, give me something. Give me something now. We followed our little guide to the front row. A circular pit stretched out before us, sealed under a transparent dome. The crowd roared with excitement, eyes locked on the battle inside. Whoa. Two Hela-class Titans were locked in brutal combat at the center of the arena. Or at least, they looked like Titans. But they stood only about 10 feet tall. Size aside, everything else, the way they moved, attacked, responded, was just like the Hela units we'd fought. Perfect miniatures. Oh God. The students near us were cheering wildly for the one with its head dyed black. It had just taken a brutal hit and was staggering. It was like it truly hurt them. For a moment, a strange light pulsed across its dark shell. Then, in a flash, extra limbs burst from its body. Its frame swelled, growing almost twice in size.
进化了！大家快看，小黑进化成诺基形态了！
With its evolution, the momentum flipped. Energy beams shot out from its limbs, slamming the other Titan into the dirt. Across the field, a wave of groans rose. Clearly, they knew the match was over.
怎么样，各位，看得还尽兴吗？
竟然用泰坦来取乐，你们的胆子够大的。
Yeah, I'll say. Really now.
这个不用担心，客人你也看到了，进行对战的泰坦是泰坦研究院的导师们专门准备的特殊品种，没什么破坏力的。
I hope so. I hope so.
就算你这么说。
Yeah.
在之前的24场比赛中，只发生过3次泰坦逃逸事故，成功率高达87%。
The hell? Are you kidding me? Bro, I would slap the shit out of her right now. She held up 3 fingers proudly. You fucking bitch. I slap the shit out of you right now. I felt a headache tightening behind my temples. As if the same feeling I'd had when I first met Lizzie. Not that I thought about it, the Acropolis seemed to be full of kooky characters like her. Compared to this crazy bunch, Risha and Mauser, who also graduated from here, seemed exceptionally normal and sweet. Which is... wow. When will Mauser get her time?
如果客人们想要参加一些不那么刺激的活动，也可以到前面看看。
She pointed toward a quieter-looking area off to our left.
你们到了那边也会有学生向导负责介绍的。如果没有其他问题的话，我就不打扰你们了。
Thanks. We appreciate it. As the girl bounced off into the crowd, I turned to the manifestations. Since we're already here, might as well make the most of it. Let's go. From a distance, we spotted a statue standing at the center of the event venue, easily 16 feet tall. Its body was beast-like, but the head bore a strikingly human shape. Clusters of students stood beneath it, deep in discussion.
你好，看几位的样子是来参加庆典的客人吧？
That's the only thing I know for Chinese. Ni hao. That's all I know. Just like the last student guide said, another one greeted us before we even got close. That's right. Can you tell us what this place is about?
几位的眼光真不错，一下子就发现了庆典上最重要的比赛。呵呵，我们刚才已经听过类似的话了。请看，在我身后的这座雕像，就是著名的智慧之神雕像。
Damn it. All because you fucking sabotagers. All you fucking sabotagers tried to bring this game down. Now its story has been dumbed down because of your... Ever since Maze of Darkness, man.
只要能回答对他提出的问题，就能得到智慧桂冠，参与今年的圣火仪式。
All you fuckers, man. Sacred Flame Ceremony?
每次庆典的最后，被选中的人就会开启圣火仪式。据说点燃圣火之后，通往终极之门的道路就会出现。
Laurel Wisdom?
庆典上可以得到智慧和勇气2种桂冠，拥有桂冠的人能够亲手点燃圣火，完成庆典仪式。
As she explained, she stepped forward and positioned herself before the statue. With a deep grinding noise, the massive figure slowly opened its mouth. A low, resonant voice echoed from within.
我随处可见，但当你呼唤我的名字时，我便会消失。请问，我是什么？
I hate riddles. I hate riddles. I hate riddles. What are you then? That's the riddle?
是的，目前还没有人找出正确答案。如果你
哦
有了想法，直接上前回答就好。
Let me guess. The adjutant gets it straight away.
被叫到名字就会消失，难道是罪犯？逃走
Yeah,
算不上消失吧？
that's what I was thinking. I fucking hate riddles, man. Shit. As soon as you name it, it just vanishes.
说到突然消失的话，我只能想到凯西亚小姐。
我不仅会突然消失，还会在你试图靠近分析员的时候突然出现哦。
God damn, Katya, man. I'm still tempted. Still want to get that wedding outfit of yours. Very tempted.
太可怕了，这个女人。
Just the way I like it. Watching the manifestations dive into the little guessing game, I let out a quiet chuckle and shook my head. Oh, of course, this fucking guy, man. Always with the Mr. Know-It-All. All the answers. Mr. Perfect. What's the opposite of a Mary Sue, damn it?
客人，您对猜谜不感兴趣吗？
Yeah, no, I'm not. I hate riddles. You read me like an open book. It's not that. I'm just curious about what you call the ultimate gates.
很抱歉，终极之门的事情我也不太清楚，只有获得了桂冠，亲自参与了圣火仪式的人才能得知具体内容。
Okay, so let's participate and earn those crowns. She didn't seem to be lying. Just as I suspected, this whole celebration, and all the students swept up in it, were nothing but pieces on a certain someone's board. Not that it was surprising. Not with this many students, and not a single faculty member in sight. In that case, I'll take the laurel. The student guide blinked in surprise as I stepped up to the statue. He's gonna answer the fucking riddle. The crowd of students quickly fell silent, probably because I was the first outsider to take on the challenge. Works for me. Saves me the trouble of asking them to quiet down.
我随处可见，但当你呼唤我的名字时，我便会消失。请问，我是什么？
What, air? The riddle echoed once more, but I already had the answer. Of course you did! Of course you knew, man! Remained silent. I didn't say a word, just held the statue's gaze and waited. Oh, God, I hate riddles, man. Whispers began to ripple through the crowd. Then, all of a sudden, the statue's eyes started to glow.
回答正确，你有资格获得桂冠。
With a soft mechanical creak, the statue bowed its head. Atop it sat a simple crown of laurels. Wow, you just earned one already. Great. The crowd erupted, yes. Murmurs, some in awe, others just confused.
这
Great.
究竟是怎么做到的？您明明什么都没有做。
I gave an answer, just not in words. The goddess's name is silence. Speak it aloud and it vanishes, so the correct answer is to say nothing at all. Well, so is air, you know. I took the crown and offered the student a small, polite smile. Now then, would you kindly tell me where I might earn the laurel of courage, miss?
唉，
Oh,
我
look at
算
that.
知道为什么分析员大人每次出任务都能带回新的女孩子。
Wow.
那么现在，能告诉我获得勇气桂冠的场地在哪儿吗？他刚才那样说完，那个女学生的脸都快红透了，
Maybe in China, but not here in America.
就连站在一旁的我，也几乎忍不住。
I cleared my throat lightly and chose to ignore Vidya's overly theatrical and clearly exaggerated impression. See that? See that full panel?
分析员，你快看，那边好像是魔术表演哎！
Oh, Tess.
也不知道卫城学院的学生会不会一些我从来没见过的魔术技巧，比如能够在麦田中找到最大的麦穗的魔术之类的。
That's not a magic trick, Tess. That's straight up sorcery.
那个勇气桂冠的试炼，
Splendid.
会不会是蹦极之类的？
按这里的风格，感觉鬼屋之类的也不是没有可能。
Nice little panel. I love it. Would have been nice if we got his outfit, his exosuit outfit for the base. For a brief moment, it really did feel like we were just guests at a festival. Martial arts tournament?
是的，这就是勇气过关的比赛。
Dude, it's like a cakewalk, man. As we reached the venue, the first thing that hit us was the massive arena planted right in the center.
双方选手1对1进入场地中，让对手倒地就算胜利。
Oh my god. Just... Well, that's about as straightforward as it gets.
所谓勇气，就是这么简单的东西啊！哎，为什么突然热血起来了？
With the manifestations' physical prowess, sweeping the tournament was easier than taking candy from kids. Yeah.
不如我们一起参赛，让小组赛的速度加快一些。
Oh my god. Okay, sounds good to me. As expected, we blazed through the tournament in under 30 minutes. The poor Acropolis students didn't stand a chance. Most of them hit the floor before they even knew what happened. Yeah. At this point, the laurel of course was practically in the bag.
我弃赛，桂冠就交给凯西亚小姐吧。
How'd you strike out, Tess? After the last round of prelims, Tess waved a hand and stepped off the stage, making her way toward me.
这样就放弃的话，
Oh, she dropped out.
未免也太无趣了。
That's no fun.
打架本身也没什么乐趣吧？
Yeah, you've always been support. Damn, it's been a long time since you had your support frame. That was a long time ago. Damn, Tess.
那么，增加一个彩头怎么样？
You gonna ask me to join? Tess stopped mid-step.
彩头？
获胜的人可以
Oh,
在需要的时候独占分析员1整天，而输掉的人还要帮忙防止其他人偷跑。
wow. Just like that one... Which story was it? This reminds me of that one of the previous stories. All day alone with... Which story was that? Wasn't that Fragments of Truth near the beginning?
凯西亚小姐，你确定要和我赌这个吗？如果是这个奖励的话，那我也要。
Just as Vidya raised her hand in excitement, I gently pulled her back. For your own safety, it's better if we sit this one out.
分析员大人，你说话好伤人。
Aww. She's so cute when she's sad. That's... yeah, okay. She pouted and sulked behind me, while Katya and Tess were already locked in, eyes sharp, tension rising. As long as I get to stay and observe, I've got no objections to this arrangement.
那么，我们一言为定。
两位选手，还请点到为止。
Keep things friendly. A martial arts tournament. A few minutes later, a student referee escorted us to the arena and quickly stepped aside. A combat barrier rose around the stage, enclosing the space.
不使用武器和战术套装，我不使用信息探能力，你也不使用魔术道具，没
Go.
问题吧？
There we go. There we go. Oh, just pure hand to hand? I wish I could see this.
先倒下的一方判负。
事先说好，既然是关乎分析员的战斗，我是不会手下留情的。
当然，我也是这么想。
No, tell me, will it be a draw, or will someone actually win?
他们的气场也太可怕了。
Damn, Vidya, if you had you have seen your fair share of combat. Only now did Vidya finally understand why I didn't want her inside the ring.
分析员大人，是不是现在阻止他们好一点？
It's fine. Relax, I can step in any time from here. And stop standing there with your mouth open. You're weakest in combat, so watch closely. Learn something.
明白了，分析员大人。
With an exaggerated clench of her fists, Vidya turned her full attention to the match.
现在双方选手都已经完成了热身运动，摆出了应战的态势。不知道谁会率先发起攻击呢？
That deliberately stirred a familiar memory. Right, when Vidya used to be a commentator for the Valkyrie games. Perfect! Oh.
凯西亚选手动了，以极快的速度靠近了对手之后，借助奔跑带来的动力，凯西亚选手挥出了一记垫步直拳。而台斯选手这边的反应是正面回击。
Just as she said, Tess didn't dodge. She met the blow straight on with a tight hook. The moment their fists collide, a shockwave burst from the impact. A rush of compressed air slammed outward, forcing Vidya to raise an arm to shield her face.
我们可以看到，这一次交手之后，双方选手都纹丝不动，连表情都没有变化。
She's enjoying this. But it only looked like a stalemate. In terms of raw strength, Tess shouldn't be able to go toe-to-toe with Katya. And this wasn't her usual style. Tess would normally slip the blow and not take it full on.
双方选手很快拉开，那么下一次仍然是凯西亚选手的攻击。
This time the distance was tighter. Katya stepped in, driving the force from her shoulder into a crisp, arching wing. Swing. At this range, a swing like that could carry serious stopping power, but it left her wide open. She knew it. This wasn't about landing a clean hit. This was probing Tess, testing why she took the first punch. Just wanted to know her opponent. Play in the water. Test the waters a little before knocking them out. Once again, Tess didn't evade. She met the strike head on. You Rocky Balboa? Even I winced. That kind of trade would only wear her down. For a split second, I caught it. A flicker of pain across her face. Ooh. But Katya didn't let up. She snapped her fist back and launched a rapid-fire barrage, fast, ruthless, and point-blank.
好快的拳速！凯西亚选手的速度已经快到产生残影了。
Yeah, what is this? Dragon Ball Z shit? Her relentless hooks were overpowering. No question about it. If Tess kept taking them head-on, she'd be floored in seconds. But Tess knew that too. This time she finally shifted gears. She angled her body, caught one punch with an open palm, and slept out, leaving Katya swinging at empty air.
有意思，你刚才是在挑衅我吗？
只是检验一下这段时间的训练成果而已。
Just playing around, huh? The brief pause gave them both a chance to reset. Just enough time to catch their breath.
那么，就试试看能不能接下这招吧。
She didn't wait for the words to finish leaving her lips. Katya lunged, spinning on her heel into a vicious roundhouse kick. Oh, Tess! Oof! Oh! You think anybody wants a roundhouse kick to the face when I'm hearing these bad boys? This fucking scene. Oh, what a classic movie. Tess reacted fast, but not fast enough. The kick landed flush. But she didn't crumple. Using her footwork, she rolled with the blow, letting the force bleed through a quick retreat. After half a step back, she caught her balance, still standing.
果然，他并不擅长用腿。
After just a few exchanges, Katya had locked onto Tess's weak point.
如果我始终保持距离，只用腿进行攻击的话，他就很难对我进行有效反击。
While Katya adjusted her plan, Tess had gone utterly still. Her gaze was fixed, sharp, unwavering, reading Katya's every movement with surgical focus. That kind of intensity was rare from her. This wasn't the bubbly magician dancing circles around her foes. This was Tess, stripped of showmanship, sharpening her edge. She was starting to take it seriously. Even Vidya, who'd been breathlessly narrating every blow, had gone silent. She could feel the shift too. And if she didn't trust me to intervene at a moment's notice, I'm sure she would have called the match off right then and there. Then, almost like mirror images, both fighters moved. Katya snapped into another whip kick, only now it was faster, harder. I could hear it slice the air like a blade. But Tess, no one understood her tactics. She didn't dodge, didn't block, just charged in, straight into the path of the kick, as if she... Bam! Katya's heel slammed into Tess's left arm, but she didn't even flinch. Only then did Katya realize Tess hadn't come to defend, she'd come to strike. Caught off balance on one leg, Katya staggered back, forced to retreat. Tess didn't walk away unscathed either. She'd landed the counter jab, yes, but the pain from Katya's kick had shot up her arm, draining any strength she had left for a follow-up. Which left a clear opening, but could Katya recover quickly enough to capitalize?
应该不可能吧？
Katya looked like she was about to fall flat on her back, but at the last moment, she abruptly twisted her torso mid-fall, letting her flank face the ground. Her hand slapped the floor for support as she arched her back and pushed off, flipping upright in one seamless arc. Then, like a wounded beast, she threw a punch, wild, desperate, reflexive. But the instant her fist flew, she knew she'd made a mistake. Yikes. Damn, Katya. Tess was wide open, one arm still limp from Katya's earlier kick. The other just spent on that counter strike. She couldn't guard in time. And this punch, it was a real one. Meant for her face. Too much force for a sparring. Sure, they agreed not to hold back, but this was crossing the line. This isn't some bloody feud. We're teammates. And with what's coming, hurting her now would be reckless. More than that, Andrew cares about her. Just like he does about me. I can't let that hit land. Right then, Katya made her choice. Oh, look at you. She could enter her fragmented state now to halt the punch. She'd have to forfeit the match, lose the prize, let Tess win. But at this point, there was no other choice. Just then, Katya's footing slipped. She hadn't noticed Tess crouched low beneath her. One hand braced against the floor, Tess swept her leg out in a flawless arc. And at the very end of that arc was Katya's ankle. The most vulnerable point in her stance, left exposed in that instant she'd thrown all her weight behind the punch. Oh! Just as her balance gave way, her body flickered and vanished into her fragmented form midair. When Katya reappeared a few feet away, the look on her face was stunned.
一直在假装自己不会用腿吗？
Tess didn't even get a chance to reply. Katya just gave a weary shake of her head.
不，现在说这个也没什么意义。
Damn. Damn, Katya. Damn.
是你赢了。
谢谢。
Thank you. Just thank you. Tess flashed that carefree smile of hers, like the fight never even happened. She's a magician. If she can't use magic, she can use her poker face.
开笑小姐，你的判断没有出错，我的确不擅长用腿。刚才的那一招，就是我所掌握的全部啦。
Damn. She laced her hands behind her back and turned toward me.
因为分析员就只教了我这一招嘛。
原来如此。
Damn, girl.
到最后，我输给的是分析员。
Oh my god. The thought softened the last trace of frustration in Katya's eyes.
这样倒也不坏。
两位完成对决了吗？最终胜者是谁呢？
As Katya and Tess stepped out of the ring, the student acting as referee promptly presented the laurel crown. It looked much like the laurel wisdom. I took it and gently placed it on Tess's head. She looked up at me, eyes shimmering with quiet affection.
分析员，我做到了。
Did you really? Damn. Did. That was great, Tess. From your cautious read at the start to the clean finish at the end, you moved like a true warrior. I brushed aside the loose strands of her hair had fallen across her face. Gave her soft cheek a gentle rub.
我是一名出色的学生吗？
Oh my god. She looked up at me, soft voice, but filled with unmistakable sincerity. You've always been. Oh my god. Her eyes crinkled into little crescents, and the next second, like a sudden breeze, she rose onto her toes and kissed me lightly on the cheek. Citrus lip balm. New today.
我很开心。
Wow. Her smile bloomed. Cheeks flushed the color of those little red apples she always tucked in her pocket.
我刚才在那边看到了苹果糖，我要让分析员也尝尝。维蒂亚小姐，也一起来帮忙。
She giggled, shoved the laurel crown into my arms, and darted off without waiting for a reply.
啊？为什么我也要？
Aw. Clearly hoping to copy what Tess had done, Vidya was instead swept away by her before she could make her move. And just like that, I was left alone with Katya, who hadn't said a word since the match ended. I had a feeling Tess set this up on purpose just to give me a reason to check in on Katya. Her emotional radar, it's scary accurate sometimes. I looked over at Katya and flicked her on the forehead before she could react. Oh. She scowled and reached for my hand, but I'd already pulled it back. Zoning out? That's not like you.
难不成当作无事发生，笑嘻嘻的和他们一样去给你买吃的，就是我的性格吗？
Nah, you're too honest for that. Even when she zones out, she's still taking in everything around her.
我只不过在思考，如果是在实战中，自己会不会因为轻敌而败北罢了。
Oh, wouldn't have.
你就这么肯定吗？
You didn't lose because you underestimated her. You never saw Tess as a real opponent. You came off as the aggressive one, sure. But Tess, she's a master at executing without letting emotion in. Honestly, it's like second nature to her. So this wasn't about weakened technique or bad tactics. It was about mindset.
的确，在这一点上，他赢得很彻底。
Alright, chin up now. To make it up to you, I'll let you flick me back.
好，那我可要下狠手啦！
With a mischievous grin, she reached for my forehead, only for me to catch her head mid-swing and slip something onto her finger. Dude. Dude. Oh, look at that. Glorious. Wow, that is glorious. Ah, that's glorious. Ah. one thing you guys still got. That's one of the few things you guys still got. The visuals. Still got it. She looked down, surprised to see a tiny flower ring, woven from blades of grass, now resting on her ring finger. Whipped it up in a hurry, but I think it turned out pretty nice, no?
你什么时候准备的？
While you two were duking it out, pick the grass from my plants are nearby. Crown for the champion, ring for the runner-up. No losers here. Our eyes met, and in hers a clear, glistening light quietly shimmered. Jeez, oh my god, man.
真是狡猾呀，子熙。
Oh, look at that panel. Wow, her hands closed around mine firmly.
我明明想表现得更矜持一些，但在你面前，
Hey,
总是做不到的。
damn it, Adjutant, I blame you.
就这样忍不住露出笑容的话，简直就和很好搞定的小女孩一样。
God. Such glory. I wouldn't say that. Winning you over took real effort, and it did. I still remember. How about we treat this as a dress rehearsal for our covenant ceremony?
得了便宜还卖乖，你总是这样。
Yeah. With a half-hearted pout and a teasing glance, Katya leaned into my arms. That was beautiful. After Tess and Vidya returned, we were quickly surrounded by students and ushered toward the so-called Sacred Flames ceremony. The ceremony took place on a temporary stage set up in front of the campus gates. A grand altar stood at its center, built specifically for lighting the ceremonial torch. Wearing our laurel crowns, Tess and I walked up the steps in hand and lit the torch together. As the flame roared to life, a wave of cheers erupted from the students. But beneath all the celebration, I felt a faint tremor resonating from afar. Could it be the ultimate gates? With that suspicion in mind, I stepped down from the stage and scanned the crowd for the student guide I spoke with earlier. Now that the ceremony's over, where can I find the ultimate gates?
终极之门？
She just stared at me, confused.
抱歉，我不知道您在说什么。
Her eyes were clear, sincere, as if our earlier conversation had never happened at all. There was no doubt about it anymore. These students had been caught in the info storm, been brainwashed. As we left the celebration behind, the smile faded from my face.
没错，艾达为他们植入了庆典很重要的信息，这让他们执意留在学院中，却根本不清楚自己要做什么。
Ah, okay. Right. That's why they were all, yeah, okay.
想要得知真相，我们就不能指望这些学生了。
Katya, it's time. Use Rhapsody's ability. Of course, our time at the celebration wasn't just for fun. Katya's exosuit had been recording everything from the moment we arrived, and Rhapsody's unique ability to let her reconstruct the past from that data. In other words, with Katya's help, we could see what really happened during the last celebration.
要使用能力的话，只能暂时先把分析员专门给我做的戒指摘下来。
No! No! Throwing a triumphant smile, Katya theatrically raised her hand slowly and slipped off the little grass ring, then tucked it carefully into the pocket closest to her heart. Oh, jeez. What? Oh my god. Yeah. At the same time, I felt two very intense stares drilling into me from opposite sides. While Katya focused on channeling her ability, I had to busy myself weaving two more grass rings. One for Tess and one for Vidya. God damn it. A few minutes later, Katya opened her eyes under all our expectant gazes.
我试过了，方案可行。
Good. Let's not waste any more time then. We move on now to the past. Wow. Alright. So, is this action? Opening. It is action. Alright. I got plenty of serum. Wait, serum? No. This is presents. God, fucking punishing Grey Raven. Alright. Sweet. Perfect. Nice. Let's go, baby. So...
果然倾泻的感觉，就连我也欲罢不能。
Look at this new area. So nice. It's a little too peaceful for my taste.
上次的庆典也是个大晴天呢，海风、阳光，还有子弹。
小心那些敌人，虽然不会真的受伤，但痛觉仍然是存在的。
是幸运观众呢。
I could just use I could just use Katya's ult right now. It could just end everything in an instant. That wouldn't be any fun. Using the minigun's the real fun here. Damn. Holy shit. My god. Really now? Can you imagine an open world Snowbreak? I mean, if they did it right, if they executed it perfectly, that would be pretty insane. Whoops. Oh, she's all out. Look at this fucking place. Store simulated environment. Ah, yep. Okay. Coolly. Show me.
想要你吻我，当然在战斗结束后。
Adjust your viewing angle to restore the rock. The stone block, isn't it restored now? Yeah.
夏小姐，
I don't need
为
that.
什么你模拟出的庆典上会有敌人？
也可以理解成，这是模拟中误差的具象化。
断掉的桥，
没错，不错，连接到了。要做的就这么简单，点小收，
乖乖被捕吧。
It's interesting when you aim with your minigun and shoot, it goes down, but not as much as when you just hip fire it. Yeah, it's much faster when you hip fire it. It's pretty cool. I like that detail, small detail.
想要你吻我，当然在战斗结束后。
I literally just stand there and look at it, and that's it. Just like that. Look at this. They added, this feels like such a huge map. It feels like it. Oh yeah. You seen Katya's running animation? Without the effects? God damn. Here you go. Sweet. Where'd you go? Oh, you can aim downwards too? Didn't know that. Bro, I really can't wait to do my PL run for you.
在战斗结束后，
Like, I haven't had this much fun playing a character since wifey. Like, Like, I've been on the PL for hours on end, just continuously shooting and fucking shit up. Fucking destroyed him, man.
登临刚到，夺取胜利，轻而易举。
Nice. Splendid. I can't wait. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lots of fun. I'll try to make it as perfect as I can. Like I usually do. Yes. Let's keep going. After this, I'm gonna take a break though. I'm gonna eat dinner.
出现在过去庆典上的人们，
连这个都可以重现出来吗？
靠近之后，听听他们都在说什么吧。
Click, click.
就非得站在我枪口前面。
幸运观众呢？分享揭晓。破。
You cannot tell me that's satisfying, man. Dude, this is so satisfying.
这次庆典准备的甜点也太好吃了，我要去发起辩论，要求在食堂菜单中也加入这些甜点。
Oh, I want this. I want their signature already. It looks so good. Damn it. I want it now! Nothing here? Blue ones don't say anything, just the yellow ones. Great. Man. I wish they'd add some kind of challenge to
听说
this.
这次庆典请来了世界树的大人物。世界树，那些人又打算做什么？不知道。他们好像已经进里面去了。
就非得站在我枪口前面。
幸运观众呢？分享揭晓。
I don't even know what Tessa's abilities do. Dude, they die so fast.
所以快点结束战斗吧。
They get fucking destroyed.
大门怎么又关上了？
你是新生吧？用那边的机关就能打开大门了。
明白了，谢谢学姐。
我的手指有多灵活，亲爱的，你是最清楚的。
Sweet. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was supposed to go there anyway. You know, maybe they should change the formula of the story. Like, not as in narrative-wise, but gameplay-wise. Make it more proactive. Add more action sequences like this. Let us play into the story. Wait. What am I restoring? Oh, that. Ah, okay, I get it. Alright. Let me see. Did they? Oh, come on, you guys. Come on. I know she's a manifestation, but damn. Just jumping all the way down with her heels. On heels. Damn. Jeez. So strong. So strong. Oh, what's this? Oh, no, it's just a jumping pad. They don't do that thing anymore where they leave like small intels around the map. Or do they? And I'm just not looking at them. It's not like I read them anyway.
其实， 迫不及待的人是我，所以快点结束战斗吧。
There we go. Sweet. Damn, I love the color blue, man. It's my favorite color.
幸运观众呢？乖乖被捕吧！狮子弹。
Dead already?
这里的星空看起来好像不太一样。外面那些教授说，这是根据2000年前的星图复现的。
这样一来，从卫生学院建立直到现在，这里的人们抬头仰望的都是同一片星空。
It's cool.
争赢高点，夺取胜利，
Thanks for a nice thumbnail.
轻而易举。
Okay. So I'm not even half yet. They really extended the story a lot. Okay. I'm gonna take a break for eat some dinner. I'll be back. Alright, back for my long break. Progress 3. Descending from the heavens, now or never. Under Katya's power, the world around us shifted. We were still standing inside the Acropolis, but the scene before us transformed completely. Oh, there you are. Who are they? Who are those two? This was the celebration from 5 years ago. Compared to today, it was on a whole different scale. Not just students, but faculty members had joined in. Beyond the main gates, the campus was buzzing with energy. We moved through the crowd, every voice and laugh ringing clear. But to them, we weren't even there. To uncover the truth, we have to split up and listen in. 3 girls nodded at me, then scattered in different directions. Let's start with Vidya, bottom of the top. What's wrong?
熙然大人，那边那个人，我没认错的话，应该是。
I followed her gaze and spotted a familiar face in the crowd almost instantly.
著名的世界树公司董事能莅临我校庆典，真是让我校蓬荜生辉呀
Didn't you die?
您不用客气，学院与我司合作已久，这次能有幸参与庆典，我也很期待。
What are you doing here? I hadn't expected to see her here. Still carrying yourself with that same grace and confidence, Director Pai. Even knowing it was just a projection from the past, I felt a quiet heaviness stir inside me. That woman now rests beneath the cemetery grounds of New Hantero. Yeah.
按照之前的计划，等学生们的庆典仪式开始之后，我们就带您去地下参观。在此之前，就麻烦您在庆典上稍等一段时间了。
哦，听您的意思是，书库的开启还必须在庆典之后？
是的，是的，这是先前的学院长定下的规矩，由来已久了。
但规矩是死的，人是活的，不是吗？
Wow.
这，您有所不知，这实在是没办法随意更改。目前书库的通道大门安装了从贵公司购置的仪器，必须要靠收集庆典上的情绪才能打开。
烦的东西，到底是谁想出来的？
You don't hide it, don't you?
啊，这是贵公司陶董建议的。
That's right. That's right. You got a problem with that?
我们还是接着聊庆典的事情吧。派竟然也参加了这次的庆典，而且他还要去参观什么书库。
There's a clear link between the celebration and the archives. Mark it down. Tess! Tess chose the banquet area near the main stage. While several members of the Acropolis leadership were gathered in the center exchanging toasts, she stayed on the outskirts, watching two guests standing apart from the crowd.
这不是策展人女士吗？您竟然也来参加庆典了？
Is this? It's like she was from Dark Souls or something like that. The woman appeared to be blind, though unlike most in this area, she wore no optical aids.
学院理事会临时决定，今年书库不对外开放了。
Yeah.
啊，这是发生什么事情了吗？
不，您多虑了，只是进行了一些修缮、扩容、图书整理以及安保系统的更新，都需要不少时间。这方面的事情我帮不上忙，于是干脆给自己放个假了。
原来如此，那我就放心了。正好，您之前几乎一直在管理书库，能有休息的机会也是好事。毕竟那些纸质书可不是一般的金贵，管理起来应该很费时间吧。不过，书库不开放的话，今年的庆典仪式该怎么办呢？
或许可以换一个地点。
The conversation drifted on for a while.
庆典、书库，感觉是很重要的信息呢。除此之外，这位策展人女士看起来也很神秘。
Let's note it down and move on. Katya!
唉，每次庆典都这么折腾。
Is that baby? Hey! Shit! They foreshadowing something with her? She looks a lot more detailed, more designed to be in tune with Snowbreak's universe.
还天天不让请假，家族里还堆着一大堆事情。人生啊！
By the gate, a tired-looking professor slouched against the wall. Anything suspicious about her?
相比那些对庆典很狂热的人，对庆典没兴趣就已经很特别了吧？
But so far, she just looks like she's dodging work. She looked about ready to nod off, until her terminal buzzed sharply. She let out a sigh that sounded like it came from the bottom of her soul, and answered the call.
喂，我在庆典上，没溜走。要安装新的基因锁，怎么这么突然？地下。行吧，我懂了，我现在就过去。没什么，正好我在这地方待着，无聊得很。
Damn. Be like that. She ended the call and slipped away, heading deeper into the campus.
只可惜，我只能模拟出庆典上的情况，看不到他到底去了哪里。
It's fine. It's fine.
怎么样，分析员？你觉得这部分信息有价值吗？
Too soon to tell. Like it for now. Let's gather more info elsewhere. By then, we gathered enough intel. Inside one of the Acropolis lecture halls, Katya deactivated her Rhapsody exosuit's power. The air rippled, and just like waking from a dream, we were back in the present.
学院里藏着的秘密，似乎要比我想象的还复杂呢。
Lucky we had you, Katya. Without your power, we'd have been groping in the dark. With the clues we gathered, the shape of Ida's plan and the true purpose behind the celebration began to come into view. First question, what is this celebration really about? The archives.
根据派和学院高层的谈话，未成学院的书库必须在感知到足够多的情绪后才能打开。
But none of the students seem to know that. My theory, they only stayed because Ida's info storm programmed them to.
所以可以确定，艾达的目的正是利用庆典打开书库。
Another question, why did Ida go through all the trouble of creating a human form just to get into the archives? The gene lock?
某个学院导师提到了，要在地下加装只有人类能通过的基因锁。
What the hell is she wanting that damn archives?
即使艾达能够控制泰坦和机器人，也无法进入书库中。所以他想出了创造人类的方法。
That's your reason. Becoming human. Which means the one thing Ida sent its human form in to get is... books.
准确来说，就是纸质书。
Ah, old school. We always assumed Ida was omniscient, but at her core, she's still an AI, tethered to the digital realm. Physical paper books would be a blind spot in her data feed. Oh, okay. So it makes sense that the Acropolis archives, a vault of human knowledge, held something it desperately needed. That was the heart of Ida's plan. Her human form was meant to overpower Vidya and me right after that brutal fight, when we were most vulnerable. But then, I did the unexpected. I unleashed Ida's digital form, a move that nearly destabilized its human form from within. In desperation, Ida detonated the tree, forcing its plan forward. At last, we're in even ground with Ida. One more thing was now certain. Something critical had happened during the last celebration. Finding the celebration with access to the archives, the gene-locked access, they all pointed to one goal. Making sure only humans could enter the Acropolis archives. We may never know exactly who or what the Acropolis leadership was trying to guard against, but whatever it was, this elaborate setup was clearly gave Ida a run for her money.
现在的问题是，我们并不清楚书库的位置，也就没有办法找到艾达人间体到底去了哪里。
True, but we can narrow it down. When we first arrived, the celebration hadn't even started yet. Ida's human form must have been lying low nearby, waiting for the main event, the torch lighting. That ceremony marked the moment the gate to the archives opened. She wouldn't have left until she confirmed that happened.
分析员的意思是，人间体实际上离我们不会太远。
Yeah. Exactly. If the archives are close, then she must... What? Come on, man. Aren't you guys like super fast or something? From the corner of my eye, a flash of white darted past. In the building across from us, a ghostly figure flickered. There was no mistaking it. No hesitation, I drew my gun and pulled the trigger on reflex. Katya! She was already moving the second it called her name. In a blink, she fragmented, vanishing into a streak of blue light. Beautiful. You can't escape. Inside the Acropolis's advanced department, building number 2, Ida's human form was racing up the stairwell.
97、98、99。
Next to her, Ida's digital form hovered with bored detachment, counting off each step.
唉，这都已经第3座楼了，你到底在找什么啊？
不可能，告诉你吧。
On the next landing, she stumbled, her legs even out. She leaned forward, hands on her thighs, gasping for breath.
那你加油，上面还有5层楼呢。
The human form glared venomously at the smug hologram beside her. It was all its fault. If it hadn't hijacked her body and disrupted her link to the host, she wouldn't have ended up doing all this legwork.
等着看吧，你得意不了多久的。
Her growl cut short. She froze mid-word, because she noticed an approaching figure. Yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. Yes. Yeah. The floor-to-ceiling window shattered in a single blast. Shards of glass rained down like silver knives, catching the sunlight and scattering it into 1,000 brilliant splinters. Beautiful, surreal, almost dreamlike. To the human form, time seemed to slow to a crawl. Her legs wouldn't move, frozen as if her body had turned to stone. All she could do was stare, eyes wide as the figure who'd shattered the glass closed the distance. Yeah, the intruder's smile curled with disdain, like some divine executioner descending in a blaze of light. Terror surged through her like a flood. Her mind screamed for escape. But her body refused to obey. Another crash rang out, and she realized she was still alive. Out of nowhere, a glowing shield burst to life between her and Katya. It broke apart in the blink of an eye, but it had done its job. It slowed Katya down, if only for a heartbeat. She didn't even have time to breathe a sigh of relief before a searing pain tore her through her arm. A bullet had torn through her bicep and buried itself into the wall behind her. Good. Another. Okay, we're getting something, But it was that pain that finally snapped her back to reality. She lunged sideways, desperate dive to the right, just barely evading Katya's next blow. She crashed down and rolled across the floor in a clumsy tumble, scraped, breathless. But at least, for now, her life was no longer in immediate danger. Katya raised her weapon once more, gritting her teeth. Ida threw up her hand and snapped her fingers with a defiant snarl.
别小看我，混蛋！
Feisty little shit. At her signal, campus security drones kicked into motion, a swarm of mechanical sentinels closing in fast on her location.
就凭这些东西，别想挡住我。
Katya sneered and opened fire. A storm of bullets tore through the first wave. Sparks flew, metal bodies collapsed in rapid succession. And still more came, but to Katya it was just a rhythm. Reload, aim, fire. Nothing at this range could lay a finger on her. But that was exactly what the human form had counted on. While Katya was momentarily distracted, she clutched her bleeding arm and slipped into the cardboard door.
可恶，可恶！
She growled the words through gritted teeth, never once slowing her pace. The Acropolis had no shortage of security drones, but who could say if sheer numbers were enough to stop a woman who could blink through space? All she could do was run, and pray she made it out of the building. Thankfully, she had memorized the layout of the campus. If she could just make it out of the building, she was confident she could stay hidden, at least for a while.
不过，刚才出现在我面前的屏障到底是？
Don't tell me it's that other shit self of yours.
当然是我知道。
The sudden appearance of the projection made her skid to a halt, nearly tripping her over her own feet.
你开什么玩笑？
作为离开了集体意识的独立个体，我们都从本体那里分到了一部分的能力吧。
I think that those are foreshadowing a playable you.
你能够轻易地入侵机械设备，控制那些低级人工智能为自己所用，而我。
To her surprise, the searing pain in her arm suddenly dulled. She looked down to see a shimmer of Digijin crawling over her wound, sealing it shut with uncanny precision.
我能够利用泰坦物质，就和那个分析员一样。
The human form realized that she gravely underestimated the digital form.
就算你现在回心转意，我也不会将身体让给你。别搞错了。
The digital form's voice dropped to an icy monotone. In the next instant, the Digijin seal on her wound shattered without warning. Pain tore through her as the gash reopened, her knees buckled, steps stumbling.
我挡下那个攻击，只是因为你太没用了。
Too weak, you've always been too weak.
如果被那个女人击中的话，我们就会一起死在这里。
If only.
你需要被抓住，但只能被分析员抓住。他有办法解决掉你，而且是只解决你。你这个。
I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying you suffer. Her world spun. Her legs wobbled like gelatin, barely holding her upright.
现在尽管逃吧。
God, man, you fucking little shit. Piece of shit.
留下了血腥味的猎物，跑多远都没关系。
30 seconds later, Tess and Vidya arrived at Katya's position.
这里发生了什么？
Debris littered the area, leaving hardly any room to stand. The roar of ongoing gunfire echoed from deeper inside.
凯西亚小姐这边的进展似乎不太顺利。
Tess shook her head and kicked the mangled drone out of the way.
无论如何，先打进去吧。
Oh, okay. Let's go. Capture. Yes. Wow, we're really gonna capture this shit. This little shit right here.
在分析员面前，我可要好好表现。
Look at this place. Man. Want it to be real open.
分析员，我做到了，对吧？瞧这个。
Ow. Amazing. Amazing. A little closer, if you will. Oh, you suck. Fucking bitch ass yellow bar. Let's do that.
这就是火力压制时刻。谢谢幸运观众呢。火力。刚是多少路程啊？走条近路吧，至少可以绕开一些。好，但近路是指，当然是，嘿，跳过来。
A little closer, if you will.
分析员，我做到了，对吧？这些干扰因素交给我来解决。是幸运观众呢？
Done.
相信我，分析员。附近的骑兵越来越多了，只能全部解决掉了。你将看到前所未见之物。看来还是你的速度快一些。剑曙光。暗夜。消退。用剑。别费丝滑。
Gotten you so I know how to use you. It's quite difficult.
才子的魔法世界，我准备好了，分析。
Damn, man.
我已经想到
There we go.
今晚要什么奖励了。现场勘查完成，谜底马上揭晓。
Sweet. What is that noise? I'm sure you guys can hear that. Like that. Oh, very nice. How splendid. Give me a second. Get rid of it. The world is a board. A pawn on the board. Great. As the smoke began to clear, Katya turned to see Tess and Vidya rushing toward her.
你们要是再慢一些，就用不着动手了。
Wow.
凯西亚小姐，我们可没有办法变成信息钛呢。而且，你还是先缓口气吧。
Tess and Vidya could both see the toll taken on Katya. Even for her, mid-air phasing 20 meters in fragmented form wasn't exactly easy, especially after clearing dozens of robots single-handedly.
这些骑兵是被艾达控制了吗？
不过反正他们也会阻止我们调查学院，在这里一锅端了也好。
It's fun. Her tone was casual, even dismissive, but her eyes were shimmering with frustration. She thought it would be a quick cleanup, but in the end, Ida still slipped through her fingers.
没想到那家伙能够像分析员一样使用泰坦物质进行防御。早知道应该用更保险一些的攻击方式。
Her voice faded as something clicked in her mind.
等等，分析员怎么没有和你们一起过来？
Great. Always on his own, doing his own thing. I mean, it makes sense. Are those... I don't want to put my cursor on there. Are those shadows or are they... You know what I mean.
分析员猜到了
You know what I
他可能
mean.
会用各种方法阻止你，所以他让我们来帮你，而他自己走捷径去追艾达。
Of course he would.
两手准备，这倒的确是分析员的作风。
Relief flickered briefly across her face, only to be replaced by confusion as she scanned the area again. Hold on. What shortcut could he even taken here? Indeed, there were no shortcuts inside this building. But I had something even better. Intel. The digital form of Ida had once stayed in my mind, and until now I hadn't been able to reach her. I had already assumed the human form would cut our connection, so I didn't expect to regain it. But the moment Katya launched her ambush, I saw the projection flicker into existence, conjuring a Tizgin's shield mid-air to deflect the blow. Only I could see Ida's digital form, which meant to Katya it looked like a human form summoned a barrier from thin air. Then I fired. My bullet connected, and in that exact instant I felt the link to Ida's digital form return. Ida? I called out in my mind, and a familiar voice whispered back immediately.
分析员，
She sounded as surprised as I was.
你先听我解释，我刚才不是故意要。
I know, you were just trying to protect the body.
你能理解就太好了。
Where's my wife? I need her to slap this bitch around. Okay.
那么你现在能感知到我的位置吗？我已经迫不及待的想要见到你了。
I can. I'll be there soon.
好耶！
You ain't swooning me over, bitch. As she cheered, I heard a sharp scream of pain. Damn! What's wrong? Are you okay over there?
没事没事，有事的是他，不是我啦。
Jeez, you little shit. Guess that one hasn't changed a bit. When this is over, I'm gonna have a serious talk with her. But for now, there's more pressing business to attend to. I took a deep breath. Even though the maze of corridors and walls, I could track the human form's every move. The shortest route between us was clear. I broke into a run, sprinting out of the structure. Beneath my feet, tendrils sprouted, branching out like living vines to form a bridge straight to her. With this, I could reach her in under 10 seconds.
只要能到达那个地方。
The human form thought she'd lost Katya, thrown her off the trail. Dead silence followed. Only her ragged heartbeat, uneven breaths, and pounding footsteps filled the corridor. She was just 10 meters from the exit. 3 more steps. 2. Just 1 more. Then, darkness swallowed the hall. A figure stood silhouetted in the doorway, blocking the light. One person she least wanted to see at the moment.
分析员，你来啦！
Enough cat and mouse. The human form doubled over, gasping as though an invisible fist had wrung her gut. Stress-induced stomach cramps? Well, that confirms it. You really are human now. I stepped forward and lifted a hand toward her.
也许成为一个人类是一个糟糕的决定。
What did you expect? Before I could reach her mental space, a familiar voice rang in the air. The red Ida materialized at her human form's side. Oh, great! Getting out of hand, now there's 3 of them.
去老地方聊聊吧。
Her tone was soft. The next moment, my awareness was ripped away from my body. Valhalla. It had been a long time since I last set foot here. Compared to last time, my psychic energy had grown immensely. I could influence this space to a noticeable degree.
欢迎回家，分析员。
Ida and I were worlds apart physically, but in this space, distance didn't matter. Her voice, her every movement, reached me as if she were a breath away. Beneath us hovered a projection of a large, rectangular board, its surface etched with a 19 by 19 grid. A Go board. Once a staple of human leisure before the digital age, Go, like many other traditional pastimes, faded into obscurity during the post-Juvosis era.
自从上次与你交谈之后，我又思考了许多东西，所以我决定用新的相处模式来面对你。你知道吗？在本世纪初，许多开发者都使用过围棋来训练人工智能。 仅仅数十年的时间，人工智能便超过了所有的人类棋手，成为了人类终其一生也难以企及的存在。这是人工智能发展史上相当重要的一步，在我的训练集中也同样保留着有关围棋的数据。
What are you getting at?
在下棋这件事上，你赢不了我。
Great. Nice to know. I have no interest playing Go with you.
这不是论断，而是事实，是已经发生过的事情。
I know, you little shit.
你肯定知道，瓦尔哈拉空间里的时间流速与外界不同。你在胡姬生空间站上的3年间，就在这个瓦尔哈拉空间里，我们一共下了490万盘棋。
Oh, fuck off.
而你的胜率是
Fuck you. Whatever. Ever. She over the mock apologetic smile. Fuck off, you little shit.
为了避免你的精神崩溃，我不得不把这部分记忆删掉了。
She emphasized erase, knowing full well how much I loathe any tampering with my mind. My god, you fucking bitch, man. A clear jab meant to provoke. But I wasn't about to bite. So, 3 years. And all you did was play board games with me. I met her fake smile with a fake laugh of my own. Ha 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 ha. For the world's most advanced AI, your hobbies are surprisingly old school.
从那时到现在，你总以为自己是棋手、分析员，
Don't even think about breaking the fourth wall, you little bitch.
但你有没有想过，你本身就是作为棋子，甚至是作为一颗弃子，被派往胡姬生空间站的呢？
I'm sure he'd known, Ida. After everything he's been through. She said it with unnerving certainty. There were things she knew about me, things I didn't even know myself. So what? Back when I ran security, I was a fine blade.
可惜，世界树对你所做的，远比你想象
What
的要
do
多。
you think you're doing? You ain't swaying the MC to you. Ida let out a cold chuckle and gave a clap. A ball of black stones landed smoothly near my hand. Oh great, now we're playing Go.
如果你这次能赢我，我会把事情的全貌告诉你。
Oh fuck off.
如何？
I know the answer is to flip the board, but I want to see. Nah, fuck you, bitch. The instant a thought crossed my mind, the Go board began to spin, then shattered into a cloud of glittering shards. I don't have time for your games, Ida.
果然，还是和过去一样。
She sighed. The broken fragments reassembled themselves in midair until the board was whole again.
这样的话，我来替你决断好了。
She began placing black and white stones alike, the game unfolding under her control. Before long, the board was nearly full. Then, her hand stopped. The board was evenly matched. Whether by chance or careful design, neither side held a clear advantage. The real fight was in the lower left corner. Black and white stones clashed there in a tight, tangled mess. But I could tell. It was a trap she'd set with precision. If I kept pushing there, I might break through and seize that corner. But that was exactly what she wanted. It would give her the opening she needed to dominate the right side. If I shifted focus and played for the bigger picture instead, I could hold the advantage overall. But I'd have to sacrifice the lower left flank. Huh. So that's our message.
你果然已经明白了吧，分析员？
Ida raised a hand in the air, performing a subtle gesture. The Go board shimmered, then transformed into a familiar map. It was the continent where humanity lives. would that be? The final, the last continent of the world.
这样看起来应该会更清楚一些吧。你们所在的卫城学院，只不过是这个世界上不起眼的一部分。虽然你已经将我的人间体逼至绝路，但想要彻底消灭它，你仍然需要花上不少功夫。与此同时，
She raised her right hand. The stones on the right side of the board glowed with a blinding white light.
如果你继续在卫城学院纠缠，我就会在其他地方进行回击。说得清楚一些的话，我会引爆第2棵树，但这一次不会是以信息态的方式。
Even though I had expected it, my fist clenched tightly. Yeah, sure, bro. Seriously going that far?
我想清楚了，要拯救人类，并不需要拯救全部的人类。
Ida smiled, sweet, innocent, like a child offering candy.
我早该想到的，从他们把你送到空间站上的时候，我就应该想到的。作为人类的神，
What?
我有资格
What?
筛选哪些人能够活下来。
You fucking bitch. You fucking little shit fucking bitch. Oh my goodness. Is there no limit to how much you're trying to make me hate you?
但
Hate
是
you?
呀，分析员，只有你是特别的。
I'm sick of you. I'm sick of talking to you.
你是我当面见过的最后一个人类，我也尝试去理解过你和我描述的未来。所以，就当是我的请求，从卫城学院离开吧。
No.
那里对你来说并不重要，但有着我无论如何也要得到的东西。至少这一次，我们的目标并不冲突。
Ida fell silent, yet her voice echoed across the boundless expanse of Valhalla. Ida. She looked at me, her eyes shimmering with that impossible childish hope I'd somehow say yes. I'm starting to believe we actually spent 3 years up there just playing Go. You never learned the first thing about negotiation, or even the slightest trick of deception. You're worse at it than the version of yourself that used to live in my mind. Why don't you learn from Rozan, you little bitch? She gave him a run for his money. Think about it. If you really could detonate another tree wherever you wanted, and if whatever's in the Acropolis mattered that much, you could have easily lured me away. You'd have sparked a crisis in the containment zone. I'd have no choice but to rush back for a disaster response. That tells me one thing. The tree in Pholosia was your last card. You're the one backed into a corner, Ida. And now you've tipped your hand. If the Acropolis is that critical to your plan, then I've got even more reason to stay. You're right. Humans can't beat AI at Go. Good thing life isn't a board game.
这么说，你打定主意要在学院解决问题了？
I thought you were smart, Ida.
别忘了，学院外还有上百名学生，眼巴巴地期待着所谓的圣火仪式。但对我而言，他们已经没用了。在这里再出现一次降临事件， 你还有把握在下所有人吗？
I won't use human lives as bargaining chips.
好，很好，我们没什么可聊的了。去践行你的理念吧，分析员。
This is me trying to punch you with my mouse. Doesn't really look like it, but this is me trying to punch you. Wham, 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 wham. Ida turned away, hiding her expression from me. The space shuddered, then threw me out without so much as a warning. Little bitch. When I opened my eyes, the human form was gone. My connection to the digital form was severed again. No matter how hard I called out in my mind, there was no response. Because of Ida's interference, I lost my shot at capturing its human form. Time for a plan B. Just as I was turning to leave, a familiar scent caught my attention. Following it, I spotted a faint glimmer embedded in the wall. A tiny fragment of titigen, no bigger than a fingernail. Something clicked. I raised my hand and absorbed it.
当心，天启者。
The message carried by the fragment surged into my mind. It was from Ida's digital form. A warning left for me. What? Hey, wait a minute. I don't believe you. What did that mean? Before I could make sense of it, the ground trembled violently. I burst from the building, just in time to see the manifestations pouring out from another structure in the distance.
分析员，这边。
I sprinted to regroup. Within seconds, the clear sky turned ominously dark. Howling winds ripped through the campus like claws. From above, beams of light came crashing down through the dark clouds.
降临事件。
Titans of every shape and size began descending across the campus. The security bots too responded, merging with the Titan Titigen in eerie synchronization. Open fire! Well, I know, rare currency. Mid-game, this is the middle ground. We're going in. Do I look tired?
兴奋了。那好，让我们来点更带劲儿的。
Because it's 2:26 a.m.
没想到会看到泰坦和学员骑兵一起战斗。分析员，前面的道路被切断了。
就用这些小技，交给我吧，我到附近去看看。其实，迫不及待的人是你。战斗吧。
I love this minigun.
一点小收入。
Oh.
正好晚上一起看。
Oh. Whoopsie.
我的手指有多灵活，亲爱的，你是最清楚的。
绽放，谢谢应观众呢，乖乖被捕吧。
这一点小伤，其实迫不及待的人。一点伤而已。
这个好，现在是火力压制时刻，我的敌人都还谢谢应观众呢。
我的手指有多灵活，亲爱的，你是
Oh, sweeties. Maybe I'm drinking a little too much coffee tonight. Oh yeah, I'm still drinking coffee at 2 a.m. in the morning. That's not really smart, isn't it? That's not really smart, huh? Oh shit.
那么，我就先走一步了。
Indeed, Katya, indeed. Why can't we just jump anywhere we want in the game? Should just be a permanent feature throughout. Ah, the physics is glorious.
灯笼刚打，夺取胜利，轻而易举。
Ah, man. Those views are just exquisite. Mm-hmm. Reconnected, those who fight side by side. Enemy forces surged from every direction, yet we pressed on, carving a bloody path toward the main gate. By the time we reached the festival grounds, the scene was unrecognizable. Rogue robots, titans slamming down like judgment from the sky. A once cheerful festival now smoldered in ruin. Yikes. Yet amid the hellish wreckage, Acropolis students remained rooted in place, as if hypnotized. Best celebration ever, they chanted, rushing toward the titans like moths to a flame. Flame.
他们果然从一开始就疯了。
Yeah, it sucks. Looks like there's gonna be a mass killing over here in this academia. Katya's Gatling gun rattled, driving the swarm back a step. What if fragmentation causes... Fragmentation can counter... Vidya, it's your time to shine.
交给我吧，分析员大人。
Vidya unfurled her high polymer threads and, just as she'd done in New Hand Hero, wove among the students, illusions spinning from her fingertips. The effect was instant. The students fell silent, glassy-eyed, and filed out of the hot zone exactly as ordered. With civilians clear, Tess, Katya, and I could finally unleash our full firepower on the enemy. Bit by bit, we drove the reinforcements back. After a brutal clash, we finally stole a breath. Seizing the respite, I quickly briefed my manifestations of what had happened in Valhalla. But I knew the lull wouldn't last.
所以，这些敌人就是他在示威吗？手段真是够下作的。
What a little shit is. What a little shit that bitch is, ain't she?
同时，也是在给艾达人间体创造机会吧。
Yeah. Yep. Got away.
如
Got
果
away.
我们将注意力放在眼前的敌人上，人间体就能在学院中畅通无阻了。
Stay on mission. No matter the distraction, our target is the human form.
那么这些泰坦和机兵该怎么解决？
I've got one last ace up my sleeve. Something that should jam Ida's control over them. It won't last forever, but it'll buy us some time.
哦，有这种底牌的话，倒的确可以把精力放在艾达人间体身上了。
One more thing. The digital Ida left a message. Watch out for manifestations.
这真的不是在挑拨离间吗？
I don't think so. I know her. She wouldn't toss out something vague with stakes this high. It might be literal. Maybe some manifestations really are siding with Ida. But were there really manifestations mixed in with the enemy? As if fate itself keyed in on my doubt, a ringtone I hadn't heard in ages chirped from my terminal.
是通讯器。
From headquarters? She was right, and it could mean only one thing. I answered without hesitation. A familiar voice crackled through the static.
分析员，
Oh,
能听到我的声音吗？
oh yeah, from the beginning, yeah. It's been a while, Professor Frisha. There's some interference, but I can hear you fine.
太好了，果然，信息风暴的影响已经有所衰退了。但是，目前也只有语音和文字通信能用，许多仪器还是处于宕机状态。而且从数据来看，过一段时间后可能再次出现干扰。
Yikes. Frisha unloaded every scrap of InfoStorm data in one breath.
分析员，你们那边怎么样？有遇到什么问题吗？
I'll fill you in later. Have you reached the tree?
分析员，你可能不相信，但福提亚老师现在离树只有3米左右的距离哦。
It's kind of close, Frisha.
如果是正常的树，在距离几十米的时候，就已经会有严重的泰坦污染了，根本没办法继续靠近。
I'm sure.
但菲洛索亚的这棵树，现在只剩下了一株很小的树苗，仪器上显示它的泰坦物质浓度还不如一般的泰坦物质结晶。
My heart sank. Wait, what about its link to Ida?
这个不用担心，我已经测试过了，它仍然在与胡寄生空间站保持联系。
Frisha's voice dropped to a whisper.
分析员，我们的底牌应该还能派上用场。我已经在安装设备了，就是可能还需要1个小时。
Okay. Good. Well done, Frisha. We're holding here. Minor glitches, but with comms back, I'll ping headquarters for support. About that trump card, let's set a timer. 1 hour, just like you said. When it's up, you fire it off. Until then, I'm counting on you and Iachel to guard the tree.
明白了，福提亚老师会一步步离的守在这里。哎，一下，你不要去咬那个树苗。
A low growl buzzed through the comms. Iachel, ever sensitive to Tijian, must be dying to sink her teeth into the sapling. I'll have to trust Frisha to handle things there. With that, I ended the call and opened the channel to headquarters. It's been a while. It had been 14 hours since the adjutant went dark. It's been a while, man. Oh, everybody. Inside Heimdall's command room, 4 manifestations and Caroline sat around a table, eyes locked on the glowing hollow map.
再确认一遍目前的情况吧。现在收到求援信号的，一共有14个隔离区，其中也包含灵区。按郎君之前的安排，其他隔离区都提前布置了人手，所以没有出现严重事故。
Jeez, Chenxing, I really need to try and get you.
但灵区这边不太乐观，我们最多只能控制住深水区以外的区域，再往前深入的话，风险很高。而且，就在半小时前，泰坦污染进一步加重了。现在除了海姆达尔以外的人员都已经撤出了灵区。
这个会议结束之后，除了陈星留住公司外，其他人再一起进入灵区吧。
Look at you, my wife, man. Such a turn on. Okay.
好，我待会儿去通知大家。
芬妮，你那边呢？树的情况怎么样？
God, I missed you.
芬妮，
The golden lioness had been absent-mindedly twirling her hair. But at life's call, she snapped upright, clearly irritated.
尤克特拉希尔没问题，其他地区的树也没问题，我没有收到任何的异常汇报。
好，
Life gave a curt nod and turned to Caroline.
军方那边
你准备什么时候去菲洛索亚？
Fanny shot to her feet, finally voicing the question that had been burning in her since the meeting began.
我说过了吧，目前没有这样的计划。
我以为你这话只是为了安抚其他人，结果你真是这么想的。
有信息风暴的影响，即使在最近的机场着陆，驱车前往卫城学院也要花上至少3天时间。菲洛索亚那边已经有5名天启者在了，他事先叮嘱过，我们得确保灵区的状况。
She never defies, man. She always stays. Down to the letter.
这样的话，我一个人去总行了吧？
Hey! Stop! Stop! Fanny, please, don't. It's too dangerous.
芬妮，你先等等，
Oh my god.
我已经等了14个小时了，到现在，我们对信息风暴里的情况还完全是一无所知，我怎么可能安安稳稳地坐在这里？
Fanny.
你们都听他的话，从大局考虑，就只有我自私小气。我不确定他的安全，就担心他什么都做不了，这样总行了吧？
No, Fanny, stop it! Stop! Fanny, stop! Tears welled in her eyes, but she tipped her head back, refusing to show weakness.
那个笨蛋，他每次都把所有人安排在安全的地方，自己又一次一次的去冒险。我才不要听他的，我要亲眼看到他没事才行。
Fanny. Then look, I'm safe. A familiar voice crackled from the terminal in front of Caroline, snapping every eye in the room toward it.
我刚刚就是想说，我收到分析员发来的通信了。
A heavy thunk followed. Fanny must have lunged for the terminal and slammed it into the table.
达里，你
Oh my god. Moments ago she was pouring her heart out, now face to face with the man she'd been worrying over, she could barely speak. I know you were worried sick, and so were the others. Each of them was doing everything they could to help.
我明白，但是
Trust me, Fanny. I promise I'd come back safe, and I will. So please, do your part and back them up. They need you. I need you. This fucking guy, man.
知道啦。谁让我是你的？
放心吧，大小姐，分析员在我身边的时候可机灵得很。在这种级别的战斗上，他花费的力气还
Oh
没有做
my.
别的事情时候。
Oh my god. Oh my god. Katya, you really gotta add some more salt?
谁在说话？
Who said that?
凯西啊，小姐，这时候就不要说奇怪的话了。凯西呀！
I cleared my throat, taking back the channel. Focus up, girls. Life, you're leading the team into Aleph, correct?
亲爱的，有什么问题吗？
You're on the right track, but with Ida, we need to stay one step ahead.
郎君是担心灵区的情况，其实是埃达在声东击西。
From what we know, Ida probably can't breach Aleph's containment wall with Titans anymore. But outside Heimdall's reach, she might be orchestrating multiple moves at once. And don't forget the demiurges. Those things have been circling the zones for a while. When will we get back to that? Damn it. I want to get back to that. I miss it so much.
如果真是这样，仅凭海姆达尔的确很难应对。
No. Yes, you can. You're also powerful. Silence settled over the room. While everyone gathered their thoughts, the command room's doors slid open.
李少校，
It's been a while.
各位，这段时间城门关照了。
It's been a while. Do you know how long it's been since we saw you? Damn. Good to see you on your feet, Captain Lee. A long time. Li Qishe, is that how you say it? Had survived a Rosanna assassination attempt during the New Hantiro incident and had been recovering in Yggdrasil headquarters ever since. It's been a year. God damn. A whole ass year. Rosanna, when will you come back? I need you. Before I left for Philosia, I heard Captain Lee was on the mend. So I asked her to meet us here once she was cleared.
连这一点都考虑到了吗？不愧是郎君。
I mean, at this point, we shouldn't be surprised. Chenxing, MC just knows what to do now.
多亏了贵公司，让我捡回了一条命。
Yeah.
我代表我自己以及军方，对各位表达由衷的感谢。
Will there come a time while the devs return the male characters? I don't think so. She saluted, then turned to the terminal on the table.
分析员，有关第16隔离区的事件，以及你们后续前往菲洛索亚后的情况，我已经听手下说过了。
Okay.
管辖菲洛索亚地区的西比阿军区已经宣布了戒严，我叮嘱过那边，在你得到进展前，不要轻举妄动。
Good. Looks like I won't be staring down a nuclear warhead this time.
耶洛莎的事情，并非我的本意。
I know, Captain. just teasing. Fucking guy, man.
总之，我也听到你们刚才说的增援各隔离区问题了。
This fucking guy, man.
我已经上报了所属军区长官，在这次事件结束前，我和我的中队将听候分析员的调遣。
Much appreciated. Yeah, you're in charge of coordinating with the military.
没想到还会有和军方打交道的机会。不过，既然是郎君的安排，我会拿出干劲去做的。
That secured everything outside the Acropolis. Alright, Miss Intelligence Officer, I need you to dig into the company database for me. A familiar throat clear crackled over the comms, followed by Caroline's awkward, lightly teasing tone.
当着这么多横约对象的面，你倒是挺大胆的。说吧，要找什么？
Look for a partnership agreement between Tau and the Acropolis. Something on an underground project. Locate the facility entrance.
老板亲自谈的合作。
Yeah. Exactly. Use my clearance. The line went silent. Caroline was no doubt rifling through the database at top speed. Half a minute later, she came back on.
找到了，我把坐标发你。
Oh, so fast. Thanks. Time for us to move as well. Assuming the influence storm doesn't cut us off again, should anything come up, I'm counting on you, Miss Caroline, to keep me posted.
如果你想喊小情报官的话，就不要这么刻意的改口啊。
Great. Duly noted. I'll indulge you next time.
分析员，我们还有事情要做吧？
He's just doing his thing, you know. He's... You know how he is. Tess suddenly leaned in and Katya seized the moment to snatch the terminal from my hand.
就是这样，公司的各位，我们就先挂断了。
The channel closed. Back in the command room, everyone exhaled, each for their own reason.
打情骂俏的时间也结束了，分析员，你现在打算怎么办？
Okay. We hunt her down. My order was simple. Vidya, your priority is the students. Lead them out of the campus to safety. Keep them hidden until your illusions... keep them hidden behind your illusions. You're the only one who can slip past the enemy unseen. I slipped my ring off and placed it on Vidya's finger. I'm entrusting you, and them, to this.
轩辕大人，我会把他们安全带出去。
Oh my god. Damn it, Vidya. Tears brimmed in her eyes. I pulled her in a quick hug, letting her cheek rest against my chest. Easy now, no tears. You've got this. Tess, Katya, we're heading for the archives. Back to where I intercepted Ida's human form, so Katya can use her power to trace her escape route. When Ida appeared, she must have told her avatar where the archives are. Our job is simple. Catch up. But I suspect Ida's digital form is in trouble. Maybe even wiped. Oh, really? If Ida acted directly, she could easily erase any rival code inside her human form's mind. I'm worried that Ida's human form just got a huge power spike. Ooh. From here on, stay sharp. The next fight could be rougher than anything we've faced. Tess nodded, resolved. Katya's eyes gleamed with the thrill of the hunt. Time to strike back. I love it, yes. It's so HD too. So lovely. Progress 6. A forked path. A flame flickers in the wind. After leaving Vidya, we doubled back to the lecture halls. Caroline's coordinates led us to a concealed tunnel beneath one building. A massive, intricate lock guarded the entrance, like an emotion-responsive model we'd heard about at the festival. It now gaped open, hastily disguised. Ida's human form had clearly gone through first. No time to hesitate. I nodded to Katya and Tess and slipped inside. 10 meters down a narrow stairwell, the passage suddenly widened. Look at this place. So nice. Though buried deep underground, the corridor radiated luxury. It had been refurbished more than once. Fresh paint still glistened on some panels. Every few meters a painting hung on the wall, so exquisite that even a total amateur like me could tell they were priceless.
这些画似乎都是真品。
Damn. Katya paused, studying one canvas. It showed a silver-armored knight battling a dragon atop a storm-lashed cliff, the composition crackling with energy.
我没记错的话，这幅画在10年前的拍卖会上被高价拍走，后来就再也没有面世过。
但他们现在就只是像普通的装饰画一样，被摆在这种地方。啊，画的下面还有一行小字：爱丽丝女士捐赠，2052年。哎，那边的也是，这里的画都是不同的人捐赠的。奇怪，这些人为什么要把画放在这里呢？
I see two possibilities. First, collectors thought this corridor was the safest vault on Earth. Second, the paintings are indeed just window dressing, because something even more valuable waits ahead at the end.
更珍贵的东西。
More valuable. More valuable. Is this... Am I still... Yes, I am. And it's already been an hour, but... My words left Tess and Katya thoughtful and silent. This is going to be 3 hours long, baby. The Acropolis archives were a complete mystery to us, and, apparently, to Ida as well. What kind of book could be so important that she'd stage all this chaos to obtain it? Hard to picture a hyper-rational AI risking everything for a single tome. Unless solid data proved its worth. A sharp sense snapped me from my thoughts. Titijin. I raised a hand, stopping Katya and Tess. Careful. We're close. Mentally, I called to Ida's digital form again, but heard only silence. The unease in my gut deepened. Something had happened to her. We go single file. Me up front, Tess in the middle, Katya cover the rear. Keep 3 meters between us.
明白。
In the cramped corridor, the only sound was the measured beat of our boots. The Titigen trace was moving too, but we were gaining on it. I could feel it. Then I abruptly stopped in my tracks again. Not for insight, but because the passage forked. Damn. At a glance, both branches looked identical. I probed with my senses and, to my alarm, the Titigen signature pulsed from both directions equally.
通往书库的道路应该只有一条吧？那另一条会是什么？
I shook my head, genuinely stumped. This puzzle was beyond even me. So simple, huh? Something is a forked road, huh? Jeez. What now? Flip a coin and hope we pick the right tunnel? No way. The logical play was obvious. Well, you don't want to be like Two-Face. I take one branch, while Katya and Tess take the other, catching Ida's human form whichever way she ran. Yet the move felt almost too tidy, as if the fork itself were bait.
分析员，左边的那条路就让给我吧。
Without my noticing, Katya had slipped ahead of me.
如果人间体出现在我那边，我有信心抓住他。
I'll bag her.
如果不在，我也能第一时间赶到另一边与你们会合。
This better not be one of those situations where they split, them two get cornered, and possibly die while the Archon has to watch. Let's see. Let's see if that happens. Actually, that would be good.
这是最可靠的做法，
Let's
不
see.
是吗？
It'd play the stakes. Come on. Let's have some danger. Under normal circumstances, I'd agree. But this is Ida. She wouldn't leave something as basic as a coin toss. Splitting up is too risky.
分析员，
Tess stepped forward and took my hand.
没什么好犹豫的，让我单独走一条岔路吧。
喂，大魔术师，现在可不是逞强的时候。
Tess clapped her hands behind her back, smiling as she shook her head.
凯西亚小姐，我现在要行使作为胜利者的特权了。我要在今天独占分析员，而你，按照约定，你需要陪在他的身边，防止其他人偷跑才行。
Right now?
现在，我要去为之后的约会做准备了。
Right now?
凯西亚小姐，你要确保分析员的安全，
Huh?
把他毫发无损的留给我，好吗？
Wait, what? How? What? Katya was too stunned to retort. Tess offered a calm, reassuring smile, then looked up at me.
分析员也答应过我的，对吧？
Yeah.
在学校的时候你也说过，约定是很重要的东西。
You know, if I had you and did your story, jeez. Determination blazed in her eyes, a steady, confident fire that told me she'd thought everything through before she spoke.
分析员，你肯定知道，我的战术套装就是为了这样的情况而准备的。
Don't put it like that. Okay. Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah.
所以
It's just me.
像你平时那样，冷静地做出决定吧，分析员。
Like you always do. She clearly knew the risk, yet still insisted that she was right. She was the right one for the job. You've grown, Tess. But I need a promise from you as well. If you run into an enemy you can't handle, throw every trick you got at them, confuse them, outsmart them. Give me your word you won't risk a head-on fight and put yourself in danger. Without that promise, I can't let you go.
我
A flicker of hesitation crossed her face, but only for a heartbeat.
我明白了，我向分析员保证。
Okay, Tess. I believe you. She gently released my hand. Before I could reconsider, she turned and strode down the right-hand tunnel, never looking back. Her fiery red hair burned like a flame in the dark, shrinking to a spark before vanishing. Let's move to. I turned, took Katya's hand. And while we let her hog the spotlight, let's beat her to the finish line. Before the security bots patrolling in the tunnel could even lock on, Katya's rounds tore through them, reducing the sentinels to smoking scrap. Dislodged gears skittered across the floor, pinging off the walls.
这些骑兵应该都是艾达人间体控制他们来到这里的吧？
Yeah.
指望用这些东西拦住我们，未免也太天真了。
She gotta be cooking up something, right?
分析员，
Stealthy. Not noticing my silence, Katya slowed, turned, and took my hand.
你还是在担心苔丝吗？
Yeah. Partly, yes. More than that. My gaze dropped to the seam of her floor-met wall as I mentally replayed our route in the tunnel. Katya, this tunnel. Feel it. It's been spiraling downward.
螺旋向下。
Yeah, but very subtly. With no reference points down here, it's nearly imperceptible. But the grade's real. I just caught it.
也就是说，这条道路最终通往的是地下没错。
Where's Tess going then?
如果疏破的确是在地下的话，起码能够说明我们正在前进的方向是对的。
Seems so. No telling if the other branch descends the same way, though. Either way, there's no time to dwell. We have to pick up the pace. Scout ahead, then regroup with Tess.
我明白。
Decision made, Katya burst forward, taking point without a flicker of doubt. Her agility was relentless. Most foes fell before they even registered her presence. Any target that survived her first strike, she simply outmaneuvered, leaving me to finish the job while they chased her shadow. We pushed on for nearly half an hour, yet the tunnel still refused to end. A flicker of irritation crossed Katya's mind. She glanced back, about to speak. Then, her combat instinct shrieked. Something lethal was incoming. Years of battlefield reflexes kicked in, and instead of the usual sideways dodge, she simply raised one arm this time. A shaft of raw energy ripped through the air, its shockwave rattling the walls. Concentrated Titigen is pure annihilation. This blast even rivaled Ymir's most devastating output. Oh my. They really give you all of the moves, all of the visuals. And yet, Katya didn't even flinch as the beam came hurtling toward her. Look at that! She stood firm, like a flower refusing to bend in a storm. When the energy finally sputtered out, she was still standing, unscathed. I caught every frame of it, yet in real time it lasted no longer than a heartbeat. By the time I sprinted up beside Katya, the energy streak had already evaporated. The air reeked of scorched metal. Sparks skittered along the walls like fireflies. Katya's blue-haired still drifted on the fading currents, alive with residual charge.
就这点本事吗？
Give me a second. Can I just see this? Without... Yeah, that looks great. Looking good, Katya. In that instant, she'd poured the full power of her neuronics and new exosuit into a single burst. Which also means her mind was locked in a razor-sharp combat trance.
这种感觉真是久违了。
Oh, good. Good. Oh! Lowering her arm, she flashed the feral grin. That's excellent.
分析员，我现在能够看清了他的一举一动。
Like Neo woke up, came the one.
猎物的心跳、呼吸，每一处肌肉的跳动，我都能捕捉到。
Yeah. That's excellent.
这一次，能让我尽兴吗？
Go get her, Katya. Excellent. The moment the order left my lips, she shot forward like an arrow loosed. A sapphire blue lace down the tunnel in the space of a heartbeat. It felt as though she ripped a seam through the air itself, rematerializing behind her quarry before the echo of her departure faded.
不但不逃，还选择回击。
You just appeared out of nowhere. She scoffed, squeezed the trigger mid-leap, and a hailstorm of rounds screamed forward. Only to smack an invisible barrier and hang there, quivering. Ida's human avatar phased into view ahead, arms akimbo, ice-bright eyes unblinking.
同样的招数，可不要用第二次啊！天启者。
God, what's up with you? With her taunt still hanging in the air, the suspended rounds spun around and whipped back toward Katya. But the spent slugs were weak, slow, and wide of the mark. She merely tilted her head and let them whistle past. It was more of a shadowy provocation than a real strike.
你身上的气质不一样了，是得到了本体的恩赐，让你脱胎换骨了吗？
恩赐，哼，这才是我本应拥有的力量。
Oh my god. She raised her hand, crackling arcs danced between her fingers. Come on, man.
在此之前，处理那个喋喋不休的小鬼，实在花了我太多时间。现在他已经消失，他的力量也将为我所用。
But it changes nothing. You're still gonna lose. It's been destined, poor thing.
你们赢不了我。
Like I said, they can't be beaten. They got plot armor. You're screwed. Deep in the cramped corridor, Katya and I had her boxed in front and back. Yet every instinct warned me she wasn't bluffing.
先来些开胃小菜吧。
She snapped her fingers, a violent pulse of Tizigen raced through the corridor. And to my shock, it was coming from the paintings themselves. Katya on your 9. Am I warning? Katya flickered into her fragmented state. A spear shot out of a painting, impaling the spot she'd just vacated, and the security bot lunged after it.
有你在还真是麻烦。有能耐的话，就来抓住我吧。
With that, she dove toward the nearest canvas and vanished into it. Damn. Shit. Okay. I dispatched the bot with a snap burst. As his metal shell clanged to the floor, Katya phased back to my side.
飞行员，你感觉到了吗？
Yeah. The smell of Tizigen. She's using Tizigen to anchor a dimensional link through the paintings.
泰坦物质还能做到这种事情？
Honestly, such a tangible thing in this universe. God. Only a theory, but the signs fit. If she can bend Tizigen like this, she's pretty much as strong as the real Ida now. I shut my eyes, searching for the ripples coursing through the surrounding Tizigen field. No. Something's off. When I opened them, the corridor's geometry had twisted. Katya, we've been tricked by Ida. This isn't mere spatial warp. The whole tunnel is woven from Tizigen, like a pocket-sized tree.
什么？
There was no time to explain. I grabbed her hand and bolted. Behind us, security bots poured out of the canvases, a relentless tide of metal. I tried reshaping the space, but every segment's cross-linked. Nudge one and the whole lattice could collapse. There's only one exit. We have to catch her, or we're stuck. And Tess, she's probably facing the same trap.
我懂了，飞行员，你就专心去找那个人间体吧。剩下的那些敌人，我不会让他们靠近你半步。
这个空间绝对有问题。
In the other branch, Tess's advance had been smoother. Aside from a few bot ambushes, she met little resistance. The deeper she went, the clearer it became. The space was more or less shaped by Ida. Tess knew almost nothing about Tizigen, so all she could do was press on. Until a lone figure materialized in front of her.
真可惜， 你选择了错误的一条路。
Oh, sweetie. Split. Here we are at the middle ground. Let's yeah, no, I'm done here for today. Yep, I'm at the middle. This is the middle. Right. Well, so far, I'll be honest. It was a slow start. A slow start to the story. But eventually, once it picked up, you know, of course. Yeah. I was entertained. But it's still missing that grim edge it had from days past. But I'm hopeful. I'm still hopeful towards there's still half more of the story to go. Which I shall finish soon. Soon. But before I go, hey Katya. Before I go, they accumulated another 10, and I shall use it. I shall use it. I already have Katya. I shall use it for Jade Arc. She's kinetic, and I already have my kinetic queen. So let's do Jade Arc. And hopefully I get lucky. If not, then oh well. Doesn't matter. Yes, I have decided. Yeah. Jade Arc. Let's just use this, and then we'll see. We'll go from there. Great. Fantastic. Ugh. Such is my luck. It's never always good. Maybe I can do a pull for the weapon as well, since I'm close to a 10 right now. I mean, just why not? Why not? Cool. She's already M5. It's just Haru and Fenny now. Then every 4-star will be M5. It'll just be a matter of maxing them out. You're M5 as well. Excellent. Great. That gave me 10. That gave me 10 from that. I'm fucking 5 away from... I have one. From the PL. Yeah. From the evaluation... Oh, wow. Rewards that I've been, you know, grinding. Been playing around. So yeah. Extended. So allow me to make another 10 on the weapon banner. Come on. Just come home right now. Save me the trouble. Please? Save me the trouble. Cobalt Cyclone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're much more merciful than the character banner. Let me see this. Let me see this beauty. There you are. Ah, yes. There you are. Ah. Yes. Oh, it feels so good, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Shit, man. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, I know there was another weapon, but I said, fucking hell, I just got the weapon. Shit. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's a rabbit. I have a security camera open and I see a rabbit on the front yard. Okay. Cool. That's the weapon. Cool. I'm done. Now it's just Chenxing. Yes! Yes! Chenxing and this thing right here. I gotta finish the story first before anything. But I have the weapon now. Now I don't have to worry about anything else. So let me just do the daily and then, yeah, let me just leave. Oh, and of course, outfit Katya with her new signature, just to see. I'm not gonna level it up just yet. I'll level it up after I finish the story and whatnot. Because that's how I roll. I like to wait. Savor it
需要我为你
until
推荐吗？
the moment. I should wait a minute. I know they added subtitles. So there we go, all on. There we go. Alright, let's see where else it shall show whenever she speaks. Alright. Bailey. Eventually you'll be M5 Vidya and Ethereal Cloud Chenxing. I hope I get Jade Arc. I hope so before this patch ends. Otherwise, it'll just be, it is what it is. 10, 20, 30, 40. That's only 40. I have 30. I'm not even close. I just need 30 more to get that attachment. Okay, material. Is Nita done? With the... No, she's not. Damn! It takes so long to get them to all the way up to 50. Yeah. Alright. Let's get them to 50. Ah! Well, what do you know? There you go. There you go. Nita's done. And that's game. That's game, baby. That's game. Yeah. That's yep. Oh, and I still got to do, I still have the whole weekly to complete. And I get another 10 pull eventually. Yay! So yeah, hopefully I get a Jade Arc at some point. It'd be nice to finally try her out if I get her. But yeah. In due time. In due time. Okay, so that's it, right? That's all I got. What else am I missing? Any other... oh, I do have 49 of this. How many can I
需
do
要
for
我为
that?
你推荐吗？
Three. Sooner than I expected. Sooner than I expected, okay? Another 10 as soon as I do the weekly. Probably tomorrow. Probably. Don't count on me when I ever say tomorrow, because I remember the last video I did, I said I would do this story tomorrow. It's been literally a fucking week. So yeah. That was the first half of Concorde Ode. See you in the next one, in the second half. Oh, and I almost forgot. Katya. Get you. Oh my god, look at this. Look at this beaut. This speaks Snowbreak themed perfectly. This is the... It is... I can just equip this now. No, I'll do it. I'll do it all when it's fully leveled. Yep. Yeah. I'll do it, but yeah. Yeah, that's what she looks like with it. Looks so good. It's so beautiful. It's matching. It's exquisite. Ah, shit. I love her gameplay so much that I'm gonna be doing multiple videos, multiple PL videos for her. One with her free-to-play, and then another with her signature T1. And then another with all three of them, with all three of her frames, just for fun. Just for funsies. Yeah. That's what Katya looks like with her signature. Yeah, looking nice. Splendid. Alright, that's it for me. Till the next one.